So let's talk about Bristol City, shall we, Chris, and what threats they can pose of Coventry this afternoon. And actually, they come into this with 1 win in their last 4, just 2 wins in their last 8. So they've had a dip in form, you could say. But despite that, the closeness of the Championship table means they're, just 3 points off the playoffs?
Yeah, spot on, Ali. I think that only 2 defeats in all 9 away games this season as well. So I think they do have an understanding. They have a clear identity, albeit that sometimes square pegs and round holes, isn't it? I think with the injuries that they've got, they're definitely a threat. I think that they possibly could play a 3 at the back, but I think we're probably going to go with a 4 today. I know Dance is beside me. Yeah, but you're looking at Anik Mehmeti, you're looking at Jason Knight's massive, he's come back captain as well. He'll just sit in beside Adam Randall. They'll be competitive, they'll cover a lot of ground, and that transition, it's so important as well that they've got the outlet and big Armstrong and Reece up top who have those attributes that they will win their aerial duels. They can ask that question in behind, but both very, very mobile, but they're quite kind of big target men as well. But they'll hold the ball up, ask the question in behind, but it's all about the service in the wide areas. You look at Mehmeti as well, he'll float out to the left, but he'll float into those little pockets as well, especially with no Twine today, and get on the ball. So important that Coventry try and kind of nullify the threat of Mehmeti, because he will, such an intelligent player. He brings goals, he'll link up, he can play that final pass, he takes most of the set pieces, corners coming into the box as well, and they have good players in there that can go and attack it, like Rob Dickey, I think Reece, Armstrong, Pring, they can go and definitely go and attack that first contact and be a threat. But I think they'll have to have an understand today that they're going to have less of the ball, but it's about what they do with it. So in that transition, can they be a little bit aggressive? Can they go a little bit more direct, quality down into the channels? Can they play it over there? Because I think this defensive line of Coventry will be high, so can they capitalise on that and ask with quality in behind that defensive unit of Coventry?
And as you mentioned, the inability of Coventry right now to keep clean sheets is all down to the standard of the Championship. And if you look at that Coventry team, the Bristol City team, they've got 10 different scorers. You've mentioned Mehmeti, there's Emil Reece, Scott Twine, I know isn't playing it, isn't in the starting 11, but there are outlets in this Bristol City team that can harm Coventry if needed, obviously.
Yeah, just spot on. I think Mark Sykes down that right hand side as well, he drifts in, he brings goals, he's a threat. So no, there is goals there, but I think there's an understanding, and I've seen these players being set up to defensively kind of nullify the threat, but then they have the quality to kind of play their own game when in possession of the ball. So when I look at the likes of Mehmeti, I've always say, a little bit of a flair player, doesn't really do the hard yards, but he's made me eat my words, because I've actually seen him sit up and he sits in beside a Jason Knight, beside an Adam Randall, does his job defensively, but then as soon as they get the ball, boom, expansive, they go forward with pace, he's always an outlet, he can drive with the ball as well, which is so important today, because like you say, there's going to be large periods where I don't think they'll have the ball, so they need players that are going to get on the ball, like Mark Sykes driving forward. You've got McCrory as well, that gives that kind of defensive unit a little bit more respite as well, so they can step up the pitch, and then without the ball they can probably press with a little bit more aggression as well without the ball. So it's going to be an interesting one. I think it's going to be, they've got in the face, no respect shown, try and force the issue, force the error, regain possession in the right areas of the pitch, but then I think the quality of this Coventry side, they'll get the ball down and try and play from there, and we'll see where it takes us.
Just very quickly, it's not long until the January transfer window, just over 2 weeks or so. In some ways, when you look at a team like Coventry and how well they are doing, do you think there's any concerns from Frank Lampard and anyone within Coventry about the vultures that might be circling with those irresistible offers? Premier League teams looking on thinking there's some players that can score goals in that Coventry team, for example. Well,
I think there's always going to be that when you're in a successful team, but this Coventry side, I think they'll be looking to recruit rather than let players leave, because this is a real good opportunity and they're in a fantastic position.
They certainly are. Well, the teams are making their way out now at the CBS Arena as Coventry look to get back to winning ways after no win in their last two. And Bristol City, they have their playoff hopes as well. Just 3 points off the all-important top six. So this is an intriguing encounter for us to bring you. So let's hand you then to your commentary team. Chris Iwelumo is alongside Ian Danter.
Thank you, Natalie, and a very good afternoon to you, wherever and however you're listening to Talksport 2 for our second exclusive championship commentary of the day. Coventry City back home after 2 away trips that only netted 1 point for the leaders, allowing that chasing pack to get a little bit closer. 5 points is the gap at the start of the day for the Sky Blues, who weren't really at it a week ago when we brought you their 3-0 defeat at Ipswich. They then allowed 10-man Preston to take a point at Deepdale on Tuesday, but here, Coventry are hard to score against, never mind beat. Yet to lose here this campaign, and we all know just how goal-crazy Frank Lampard's side have been so far. Enter Bristol City, who've been waiting almost twice as long as their hosts to play top-flight football again. They came as close to doing that as they have for rather a long time by making the playoffs under Liam Manning last season. Enter Gerhard Struber as Manning's replacement in the summer when he left for Norwich. Struber has the Robins in 10th, but only 3 points off the top six, and their away form very solid. 4 wins on their travels this campaign. They show great spirit in midweek to come from 2 down at home against Leicester to earn a point, but they've not won here in over a decade. Coventry are still without top scorer Brandon Thomas Asante with a hamstring injury. 3 changes from the draw at Deepdale. Kessler, Hayden, Wolverton and Eccles all benched. In come Van Eyck, Torp and Mason Clark. So Rushworth the keeper, Van Eyck, Thomas, Kitching, De Silva is a back 4, Torp and Grimes holding, and then Sakamoto, Rudoni and Mason Clark behind Wright in attack. For Bristol City, Gerhard Struber made 2 half-time changes at 2-0 down to help the comeback against Leicester. He makes 3 changes from the start here today. No George Tanner or Zach Viner from the back 3 on Tuesday. They're both out of the squad altogether. Neto Borges and Jason Knight come in for them. And Sinclair Armstrong is preferred to Scott Twine in further forward areas. Twine is benched. Looks like a 4-4-2 for Bristol City. We'll see once the game gets underway. Vitek the keeper. McCrory, Borges, Dickey and Pring. Then Sykes, Randall, Knight, Mehmeti, Armstrong and Rees. Once again, a bumper crowd inside the Coventry Building Society Arena, nudging 30,000 again. About 1,200 Bristol City fans have come up from the West Country, and it's a right old racket in here, as it has been since the start of the season, as we say. Good afternoon once again to Chris Iwelumo.
Good afternoon, Ian. Good afternoon, everyone. What a fantastic atmosphere. I tell you what, you're seeing the fans walk by us now. Everyone's recording it, just taking it in. What a hostel, the smoke. Now the players are really buying it. Feed off this to try and start with that high intensity, high energy.
We're underway on Talksport 2 for our second exclusive championship commentary of the day. Both teams in their first choice colours. Coventry in all sky blue, Bristol City in the red. Shirts and socks and white shorts. And Coventry will be attacking the north stand away to our left. We're sat, Chris and I, about 20-25 rows back in the west stand. And to our right, the south end, that's where the Bristol City supporters are this afternoon in the southwest corner. Ball's back with the Bristol City keeper, Radek Vitek, who has the ball inside the D, fires it long downfield, trying to get Cameron Pring in behind. And Pring will actually guide it back to his goalkeeper. And Vitek will just take a touch.
Well, straight away you look at the way they're playing, going long, trying to win those first contacts, pick up second balls. Mehmeti, Jason Knight's just kind of sitting in front of that defensive unit, just allowing Randall to kind of go and step forward a little bit so he can try and pick up second balls with Mehmeti. But it's down to then Emil Rees, Armstrong. Can they win those contacts? Can they win those aerial duels?
That is Chris Iwelumo, you can hear alongside me this afternoon on Talksport 2. Just over a minute gone. Coventry trying to win possession on the far side of the field there, right. Sakamoto gets beaten to it by Ross McCrory. Just looking at the Bristol City setup this afternoon, Sykes looks like he's playing as a right wing back, and it does look like 3 centre halves.
Yep.
In fairness, Borges, Dickey and Pring as the 3. McCrory is switched flanks today. He's playing on the left-hand side for Bristol City.
Yeah, I think they have that understanding. I think McCrory has that knowledge as well, that he can, when it's really on, can he go and be a left wing back? But I'm looking at the three centre backs. That's the way it's looking. Tell you what, good hold-up play as well. They're fantastic.
From Hadji Wright, works it out to Jay Da Silva on the Coventry left, level with the 18-yard line. Swings the cross in, up go the heads, and it was McCrory who got there just ahead of Sakamoto. And so they were able to clear their lines, Bristol City.
Well, that's what he brings, Hadji Wright. Holds the ball up, fantastic close control as well. Good play to find Da Silva down this left-hand side. Not even thinking about it, Da Silva. Good quality coming into the box. I tell you what, sir, it's not a lot in it for me. He's looking for it, Mason Clark.
He's gone down wanting a free kick, but our referee Stephen Martin from Staffordshire says it's a throw into Bristol City. Jason Knight, the captain, works it back to Adam Randall, once of Plymouth. Came to Bristol City in the summer, just moving up the M5 a little bit. Now here's Neto Borges, under pressure from Hadji Wright, and gets dispossessed by Wright. Mason Clark now into the area, left-hand side, finds Radoni. Radoni snatched at the shot, actually kicked the ball against his back heel and allowed the keeper to grab hold of it, 0-0.
Yeah, it was fantastic play as well. I'm looking at it, we're right in line. Mason Clark's running at the point of the 18-yard box. Hadji Wright's offside. All Mason Clark has to do is take it towards goal. He actually comes across and creates that space for Radoni to run in behind. If he takes it, he's definitely getting a ball across to Hadji Wright, who's going to be in front of goal and get an opportunity there.
Pulls out on the left-hand side with Anis Mehmeti for Bristol City. Plays it into the feet of Sinclair Armstrong. 30 yards out, but he's dispossessed by good work by Victor Torp. Radoni pokes the ball out to the right-hand side where Tatsuhiro Sakamoto can start a run down the Coventry City right. Infield it goes to Hadji Wright, centre of the Bristol City half. Da Silva again is the option. Plays the ball into the area. Mason Clark can take a touch and drag it wide. The flag had gone up against him anyway, but goodness me, he had so much space in which to receive the ball, but it goes behind. We
don't have the luxury of a monitor, but I'm telling you now, he's not offside. He is not offside, and the linesman is looking. He's got full back. I think it's McCrory that's actually dropped in. Mason Clark picks up a perfect position. What I will say, can that ball be released just that split second earlier? Because it's really, really tight. But I'm looking at it. We're just a little bit off the direct line, and he's onside for me. I'm sure Sam will whisper in my ear from back home in studio.
4 minutes gone on Talksport 2. 0-0 between the league leaders Coventry City and Bristol City starting the day. 3 points off the top six. Remember, they finished in the top six last season under Liam Manning and lost to Sheffield United in the playoff semi-finals. And you have to go back to 2008 when Bristol City reached a playoff final, and that was the day that Dean Windass scored one of the great playoff final goals to get Hull City into the Premier League at Bristol City's expense. Got to go back to the 1980s, last time the Robins were a top flight side. Here is Jay Da Silva. I'm going to try and keep you updated with goals as they go in from around the divisions, but my internet is playing up something chronic this afternoon. I've got...
Well, it's not just yours, it's mine as well.
Yeah, it's dreadful here at the CBS Arena, but we'll do our best to let you know what's happening. Liverpool, Brighton and Chelsea, Everton in the Premier League. Adrian's taking you around the grounds. Lots of Championship, League 1, League 2 and FA Trophy football this afternoon. 32 ties in that competition today. And earlier today, 2-1 wins for Norwich, Preston and Stoke in the Championship. In Norwich with our early game that we brought you on Talksport 2, beating Southampton 2-1. Liverpool have already gone 1-0 up against Brighton. Here's Ephraim Mason-Clark, back heel to Jay Da Silva at the dead ball line, pulls it back to the near post and it's poked behind, is it? No, it's kept in play, preventing a corner. Rob Dickey got the toe in, and then Sykes prevents the corner kick, but it is a throw to Coventry right by the corner flag left hand side. 0-0.
It's something that Jay Da Silva's going to do all game, that energy, that end product, good link-up play, good communicating as well with Mason Clark. Fantastic little kind of quality, little reverse pass, and its ball's coming in. It has to be defended well. They can't switch off this defensive unit. What I will say, everyone's back in position, shoulders are open, bodies open, waiting for that delivery to come in so they can go and attack it.
Throw in to come from Milan Van Eyvite, the long throw specialist from the left hand side. Good punch cleared by Vitek, comes out to Grimes at the edge of the area, hooks it back in. Hadji Wright helped it along the 6 yard line with a header, but Bristol City had enough red shirts back to get it clear. It was Hugo Ekitike that got that first-minute goal for Liverpool in the Premier League against Brighton. Hull City have taken the lead at Millwall early in the Championship. Remember, Hull City won 2 out their last 3, starting the day in 6th. Millwall started the day in 3rd. And Lincoln, starting the League One day in 3rd, they're already a goal up at Blackpool. 0-0 here, 7 minutes gone at the CBS Arena. Coventry working hard to win it back. Rodoni toe pokes it through to Hadji Wright. Left-hand corner of the area, goes down. Mark Sykes under pressure from Wright, and the referee gives the free kick to the Robins, 0-0.
Well, I've got to say, I think Cameron Pring does ever so well just to kind of slow Hadji Wright down, just to allow the defensive to get back and get those challenges in. I think Hadji Wright has to go with a little bit more pace, get that 1v1, make sure you capitalise off the back of it there. Ask Pring, all you need to do, you don't even need to beat him, get yourself into the box when he's backing off, just kind of manipulate the ball, get that yard, and then ask the question of Vitek, who I've got to say has started very, very well. Come out, good strong punch as well.
Armstrong knocks it down for Bristol City. Now Mehmeti, right-hand corner of the area, tries to whip a cross in, and it deflects off a Coventry boot, and then Sykes tried to bring it under control, just flicked off the outside of his boot, and it's a Coventry throw in the end. Best home record in the division, Coventry City, we shouldn't forget that. 7 wins and 2 draws here, 25 goals scored. Unbeaten in their last 5 here against the Robins as well, 0-0.
Yeah, I don't mind that from Mehmeti. As soon as he finds that space, I think he can probably drive into the box, but he's just trying to feel that little ball in between the last centre-back and goalkeeper there. I think it was cut out well by Kitchen, in fairness.
Walsall, the League Two leaders, already 1-0 up against Shrewsbury. 5 straight wins for Matt Sadler's Saddlers. They don't want lightning to strike twice from last season when they were well clear at the start of this calendar year and blew automatic promotion, Walsall. Coventry last in the Premier League back in 2000-2001. A whole generation, you could argue 2 generations for Bristol City. It was 1980 when they last played top flight football. Still called the First Division back then. I think we'd just gone decimal. Leicester 1, Ipswich 0 in the Championship. It's a big goal for Leicester City, winning a draw over the last 2. They're just trying to improve their form, and they lead at the King Power against Ipswich, who we saw their game against Coventry. We brought you that last weekend here on Talksport 2. Headed away by Borges for Bristol City. Sykes lobs it up to halfway. Armstrong showing his strength, trying to dispossess Matt Grimes, but Coventry get it back. Good header in the centre circle from Randall. And Sykes works it infield to Emil Rees, who's got a great goal-scoring record against Coventry City for Preston North End. 4 in his last 6 against the Sky Blues, but they've been dispossessed, Bristol City. Mason Clark works the ball infield to Rodoni. Coming out to this near touchline, looks like he's conceded a throw. He thought he won the throw, but it came off his chest. Last of all, throw into Bristol City, 0-0 the score. Yeah,
Borges has done very, very well there. Got that timely challenge in. I think Emil Rees, fantastic close control as well. But he's looking for the outlet. He's held the ball up. He's kept control. He's turned and got at the Coventry defence. He's just waiting for that outlet. Tried a little bit too much, and I've got to say it was Mason Clark worked very, very hard to get back into position and get that timely challenge in.
That's Chris Wellamo. You can hear alongside me Ian Danta. It is 10 minutes gone at the CBS Arena. Coventry City 0, Bristol City 0 in the Championship. Norwich beating Southampton in our first commentary this afternoon by 2-1 for just their second home win of the season. What have you spotted, Chris?
So you look how high Coventry defensive line is, using the ball very, very well. So that goes Bristol City going to the back 5, but it's that 3, and this is where I've had to eat my words with Yanis Mehmeti. You know, he drops in, he sits beside Randall and Jason Knight, and he does his job defensively. Look now, going pressing, keeping pressure on the ball, and it's just
Van Awijk's got the better of Pring down the left-hand side into the area. Van Awijk tries to pull it across for Rodoni, but a massive foot in from Neto Borges to help Bristol City get it clear. And then Mehmeti just clips it down the left-hand side, asking Armstrong to go after it, but he nudged into the back of Bobby Thomas. They were both racing after the ball as it scampered ahead of them, but the foul was Armstrong's. Free kick, Coventry City 0-0.
Just looking at that, I can see that Armstrong has got the legs on Bobby Thomas.
Yes.
But how good, what the excellent defenders in it, run across the running path of the offensive player. Any little contact, you're going down. Obviously, you're looking at the referee, Stephen Martin. There, we'll have to give it. You know, but I've got to say, fantastic play, Van Awijk. Only thing I'll say, wrong pass. You know, Hadji Wright's pull back to the penalty spot. I think he's got to play it earlier. the space wasn't on to try and find Rodoni, who's coming round the back post area.
Van Eyck, bit of a cult hero here at Coventry City. Well over 100 appearances now after he moved from Heerenveen in his native Netherlands a couple of years ago. 5 assists this season as well, but wasn't on the assist that Chris thought he should have been with that opportunity. Coventry 0, Bristol City 0. 12 gone here on your home of the EFL. Talksport 2. Last night we brought you West Brom with that good solid win against Sheffield United. Yeah. Very important win for Ryan Mason. As Sheffield United have certainly been much, much better in recent weeks. Here is Ephraim Mason-Clark down the left-hand side for Coventry, trying to get away from Borges, who's holding him up, and then puts his foot in, does well, Neto Borges. Then goes down, referee says no foul, and now it's worked back by Victor Torp to Matt Grimes, centre of the Bristol City half. Rodoni turns it round the corner, claims for handball at the edge of the area, and the referee had a look at it, Stephen Martin, and did not blow his whistle. Well, throw into Coventry, 0-0. Yeah,
it did come off the hand, but Steve Martin's just he's touched the thigh there, so must have come off the thigh onto the hand, which then no handball. Had you right, I think he tried to control the ball, was a little bit unlucky. Just was waiting for it to come down before he could try and get some sort of purchase on it, probably to steer it goalwards. But look at the energy, look at the transition now. Bristol City going, hurrying for the ball, trying to put a little bit of pressure on.
Ball headed out of play by Pring for a throw into Coventry on the far side of the field. It's not quite close enough to the midway point of the half for a Van Eyck long throw special. Barnsley lead Leyton Orient in League One by a 1-0. Mason Clark giving chase down the left-hand side for Coventry. Sykes playing at wing-back today. Manages to get the ball clear, but can only find Jack Rodoni down the Coventry City left, level with the 18-yard line. Works it back for Matt Grimes. First time cross whipped in from Grimes, but it was cleared up by Dickey, only as far as Van Eyck at the edge of the D. He finds Rodoni, could have taken a first time shot, reverses the ball for De Silva, whose first time cross is blocked out for a throw by Sykes, 0-0.
I tell you what, keeping the pressure on, winning every second ball. I've got to say, Van Eyck has to get the shot away. Wait a pass to Rodoni, excellent from just to put the right foot on it, get a shot away. I think De Silva, again, he's beat your man. Try and get another yard. You've got to make sure that you commit the defender. He's in no man's land there. You've played the cross straight to him. It was an easy one for Borges to defend there.
Chesterfield 1, Barnet 0 in League 2. 9th place Chesterfield, no win in their last 5, but they lead in that one. Milan Van Eyck with a long throw for Coventry from this left-hand side. Doesn't even bounce at the near post. It's volleyed away by Jason Knight, the Bristol City captain, and Rodoni has to go back just inside his own half to retrieve the loose ball for the league leaders. Grimes, often the orchestrator of the attacking threat for Coventry City, down the centre of the pitch, gives it out left to Jay De Silva. Rolls into the feet of Mason Clark, but that's a good foot in from Sykes, and then cleverly worked back to Adam Randall, although Randall was dispossessed by Torp. It almost broke for Coventry, and then a poor challenge from Pring. Ball's worked up towards Hadji Wright, but Dickey got an important header clear, but it's with Hadji Wright again. Right hand side of the area, hits the post. Had the keeper beaten. Now Torp has a drive from the edge of the box, and Bristol City survived, but Hadji Wright had a daisy cutter that smacked the foot of the post at Vitek's near post. Sinclair Armstrong down the other end of the field, can't keep it in play. That's as close as Coventry have come, as either side have come, with 15 minutes gone, 0-0.
Yeah, well, it's all Coventry, using the ball very, very well. Hadji Wright, some of the positions, that the runs that he makes is outstanding. So unlucky. Beats obviously Vitek at that near post, but can't just kind of sneak it into that little that gap that there was. Picking up second balls. Look at this, the energy.
Rodoni with great energy down the Coventry right, puts the cross into the box. It goes beyond Wright and Mason Clark, and will go out of play for a throw. Now Sakamoto went down off the ball, and they wanted a free kick, Coventry, from that build-up play down the right, but again the referee would prefer play to continue. Throw in Bristol City, 0-0.
Yeah, well, Stephen Martin, he's played advantage there. Can he pull it back? I think too much is probably going on. If the ball's better, Mason Clark's definitely getting an effort at the back post. So the advantage they have got something out of it. Even though I think even Frank Lampard's asking the fourth official that it should be brought back there, but I think the official's spot on.
Throw into Bristol City then, level with the edge of their own penalty area. Down the right hand side, Neto Borges steals a few yards, but his throw goes straight onto the head of Ephraim Mason Clark. Hooked up to the halfway line, and it will be a Coventry City throw.
this is where I need more from Reece and Sinclair up top. Yeah, they've got to make sure the ball sticks. That should be the outlet as soon as they get it. Randall's been caught in possession. Jason Knight's been caught in possession. The way that this Coventry side work, as soon as they're out of possession, it's that reaction, that 2-3 seconds, can they win it back? And more often than not in this game already, they have done exactly that.
Mason Clark, left-hand side for Coventry, right in front of our commentary position. Wins a free kick, just clipped by Neto Borges, so a chance for Grimes to whip a free kick in from this near side, the Coventry left, and given the style of his delivery, Chris Willemo, this will be swung away from the goalkeeper and looking for somebody to get in on it.
So you not think, get a righty on it and just put it right on top of Vitek?
But he takes everything, generally speaking.
But it's the quality, it's usually right on the money as well.
They're top of so many metrics, Coventry. Most goals, shots on target, big chances, touches in opponent's box, all that. That's why they're clear. And they've got this free kick, almost level with the 18-yard line. A couple of yards in from this near touchline. Grimes delivers it, lovely swirling delivery, but actually a very comfortable claim for Vitek. And he will try and clear from hands, but Haji Wright got in his way. Is that a bit of gamesmanship from Haji Wright, just trying to make it difficult for Vitek?
Well, being a striker, I don't think Haji Wright's done anything wrong there.
Of course you'd say that. I know you would.
Vitek's not even looked behind him.
No.
He's put the ball's there to be got at. So I think, and he's actually come out the box there as well. He's done well to keep the ball in the box there, Vitek.
0-0 here at the CBS Arena. 18 minutes played on your home of the EFL Talksport 2. The League One leaders Cardiff are trailing at home to Doncaster, who start the day in 19th. And Hull have gone 2-0 up at Millwall in the Championship. Carl Joseph has got both of Hull's goals. Millwall, remember, started the day in third, but Hull are sixth. It's very, very tight in those playoff places as Chris Willemo shakes his head. Every goal means something.
Oh, of course.
McCrory wins it back on halfway for Bristol City. Mehmeti tries to spin away from Radoni, feeds it back down the left-hand side. Is that going to be offside against McCrory? He knew it. He hesitated before he touched the ball, knowing that the flag was going to go up on this near side.
But he's spot on. He just turned to Mehmeti and said, you have to play the ball quicker than that. He's breaking his neck to get forward.
Now Tatsuhiro Sakamoto going at full pelt down the Coventry right, but ran into a bit of a cul-de-sac in the end. And Bristol City have it back with former Oxford defender Rob Dickey. Now Sykes on this near side just lifts it down the inside right channel. Reece lets the ball run across his body, comes through to Armstrong, angles tight in the area, fires it in, it cracks against the angle of post and bar from the dead ball line from Sinclair Armstrong. So both teams have hit the woodwork in these opening 20 minutes. De Silva knocks it down for Torp, just outside his own penalty area, brings it classily clear for Coventry City, tries to fire it through the halfway line for the run of right, but it's intercepted. Bristol City have it again. Sykes down the right-hand side. Again, slides in Reece, who's onside down the right-hand side of the area. Nobody's gone with him. Gets to the dead ball line, clips it to the far post. Oh, there's nobody there in a red shirt to collect.
It's a terrible ball. Emil Reece, fantastic running as well. Great little out run.
Now up to the edge of the area. It slipped down to McCrory, plays it into the near post, and Borges, who'd come forward from fullback, tried to improvise a shot first time, but got it all wrong, and it was a comfortable save for Rushworth. And then they try and release Sakamoto to Coventry down the right. It goes out of play for a throw. Tempo of this game is frantic, Chris Willemo. 0-0.
But it's better from Bristol City, and it's got better because the defensive line is stepping up. Sykes, McCrory bombing forward, asking that question, trying to create the overloads. It's a great little ball. It was for Emil Reece, but they had curve in the ball that it ran into the path of Armstrong as well, who done ever so well from a tight angle. But that offensive four can only do what they do if that defensive unit of Bristol City is stepping up, so they can actually go and press without it. But they're also not allowing Coventry to kind of get a mainstay and step forward into the middle third, attacking third. We ease.
0-0 here. 20 minutes gone on Talksport 2. Crawley lead Oldham by a goal to 0 in League 2. No one in 5 for Crawley before today. And Crewe lead at Tranmere in mid-table. No one in 5 for Crewe before today as well. In the Premier League, Liverpool 1-0 up against Brighton, and Chelsea now have the lead against Everton in the other 3 o'clock Premier League kickoff. Chelsea 1, Everton 0. But Everton, in this calendar year, their away form is only bettered by Arsenal since David Moyes took charge for a second time. Coventry in possession, but it is 0-0 as we approach the midway point of the first half here on Talksport 2. Thomas and Kitching, the two centre-halves, exchange passes on the halfway line. And then it's slid into Jada Silva, and he works it out to Mason Clark on this near side of the left. Going to drive for the dead ball line, then comes back onto his right foot to the corner of the penalty area. First time ball swept in by Grimes, but again Vitek swiftly off this line to claim the loose ball, 0-0.
I think he's been outstanding, Vitek. You know, I think he makes that decision early. He comes out, good hands. If he can't make the catch, it's a good decision to the punch. It clears the distance as well. So straight away, that instills confidence into that defensive unit in front of him as well. Good quality coming in from Matt Grimes there as well. He's had a good couple of opportunities to kind of put it right in there. But Vitek, fantastic goalkeeping.
On loan from Manchester United, Radek Vitek at Bristol City. 0-0. Borges brings the ball up to the halfway line, plays an intelligent ball into the centre circle for Randall, who immediately sees McCrory in space down the left-hand side. He's got Greengrass to gallop into, leaves it for Mehmeti. Now Pring takes over, leaves it for Mehmeti once again, who chips the ball into the area. Armstrong can take it on his chest, fire a right-footed shot on the turn, and it's well held by Rushworth. Good football from Bristol City, but it stays goalless.
Well, it's excellent football. You know, Mehmeti, ball into Armstrong. You know what, big man, he knew exactly where the goal was. Great control, chest up in the air, and then on the swivel takes the shot straight at Rushworth. Though any corner, it's causing him all sorts of problems there because they've got good purchase on it as well.
0-0 here in the Championship. Wrexham lead against Watford by 1-0. Rodoni touches it into the area for Haji Wright, tries to get past Pring, comes off his chest and behind for a corner kick. Coventry's first of the game at the North Stand end away to our left. 0-0 the score on Talksport 2.
I don't know if you're in agreement with me, and just put the left foot through that. He's tried to bring it back onto his right. He's actually on the point of the 6-yard box down the left hand side. Just put the laces through it, just make sure you hit the target.
Well, you and Natalie talked about it before kick-off. No goals in 7 for Haji Wright.
But I've seen a player with confidence in his movement and the runs that he's making, because you know he's going to get the service, but he is going to be judged on goals and goals alone.
Left wing corner for Coventry City at the North Stand end. Matt Grimes preparing to take it. Referee stood at the edge of the 18-yard line, just keeping a beady eye on any pushing and shoving, because it's a fairly packed 6-yard box, even though it's an outswinging corner. In it comes from Grimes. It's Dickey who gets fouled in the area by Mason Clark, spotted by the referee. Free kick. Goals going in elsewhere. In the League One, Lincoln are now 2-0 up at Blackpool. Exeter, with back-to-back wins, despite being just outside the bottom four, they lead at Bolton by 1-0. Northampton down to 10-minute Peter, but that's still 0-0. Stevenage have gone 1-0 up at Stockport. That's 4th against 6th at Edgeley Park this afternoon in League One. And here at the Coventry Building Society Arena, we are at 24.5 minutes. Coventry have looked threatening. They've hit the post with a shot from the angle from Haji Wright. But Bristol City have also hit the angle of post and bar, admittedly from an even tighter angle, pretty much on the dead ball line from Sinclair Armstrong, who's also had a good shot on the turn, well saved. Borges will have a throw for Bristol City, just in front of our commentary position. Again, he steals a few yards, much to the dismay of the Coventry supporters around us in the West Stand. Mason Clark wins it back for the host and wins a throw off Borges down this near side.
He's a fantastic talent, Mason Clark. You know, always trying to pick up those little positions, little pockets to be an outlet on the ball, but it's close control. He's just a player with confidence, and you've got to give Frank Lampard a lot of credit for that, because you go in, you straight away seen that bounce in the player, that little arm round the shoulder, a little bit of love, and you get a lot back.
I think there's a lot of players in Sky Blue who you could argue Frank Lampard has trained on since he's been here, particularly the midfielders, and here is one of them, Jack Rodoni, sliding in Haji Wright up to the edge of the area, takes the ball onto his left and drags it just wide of the post. We were right behind that as Haji Wright drew the defender, went down the left-hand side of the box, but his left-footed shot screwed wide for a Bristol City goal kick, 0-0.
Yeah, he's done everything right, but hit the target, isn't he? You know, I think great position that he picked up, fantastic first touch. He kind of creates that possession where he's 1v1, just manipulates the ball onto his left and then lets it go. He does have to beat his man, but just opens up the goal, but he's got to hit the target. He's trying to find that bottom right hand corner there, I think, a little bit closer to Vitek, his feet, and it's in the back of the net because he got good purchase as well on that one.
We want to make sure he's in the World Cup squad for the USA next summer. Jada Silva, who want to go to the World Cup with Wales if they can make it through their playoff pathway, made 100 appearances now for Coventry. Jada Silva floated up for Rodoni, who's trying to get the better of Cameron Pring. McCrory heads it infield. Randall's just barged into by Torp.
That's a yellow card for me. Top knows exactly what he's doing there. Randall's a dangerous one as well. He's up in the air. And to be fair, Stephen Martin knows exactly. He's great position, sees it. Free kick, definitely. For me, a yellow.
27 minutes gone on Talksport 2. Still no goals. These two teams have kept 7 clean sheets each this season. However, Coventry have only kept 1 clean sheet in their last 10. And they've conceded a free kick as Mehmeti is hauled down by Torp, who must be edging closer to going into the referee's notebook, Chris Owellamo.
Yeah, persistent foul, and he was helped by Sakamoto as well there. But fantastic close control from Mehmeti in between the two of them, and then takes the ball in between and tries to get through it. Fantastic quality.
Luton 1, Port Vale 0 in League 1. 1 loss in 11 for Jack Wilshere and Luton Town. Port Vale really struggling at the foot of the table, even if they've managed back-to-back wins in League and Cup just lately. Here's Victor Torp for Coventry at 0-0. Sliding in Sakamoto, getting up to the edge of the D, going to take it on his left. Saved by the keeper. Mason Clark on the follow-up, sees his shot blocked, but the flag has gone up against Mason Clark anyway. But again, Radek Vitek made a good save from a low daisy cutter from Tatsuhiro Sakamoto. 0-0.
Yeah, Sakamoto, great close control as well. He knew he wanted to get the shot away. He struck it well. Fantastic save from Vitek. He didn't know Mason Clark was offside there, but he's got up and made a double save. Fantastic goalkeeping. But that's what you want. You know, if it's not Hadji Wright picking up seconds, Mason Clark's trying to anticipate it as well.
Yeah, he's looked very solid, the 23-year-old, wearing number 23, Radek Vitek, who, as I mentioned, is on loan from Manchester United. Plays for Czechia. He'll want to go to the World Cup. Well, everybody does. Free kick smacked downfield by Vitek, looking for Sinclair Armstrong, who heads it up in the air, lands in the centre circle on the volley for Mason Clark. High boot from Jack Redoni as he tried to keep the ball away from Adam Randall. Referee quick to blow the whistle. You're not having that, are you, Chris Owellamo?
It's a great bit of quality, isn't it? Because Randall's not put his head towards it, he's just running. It's a great little flick. It's controlled for me, but I understand the foot is up. It's right in front of the face of Adam Randall. There's no contact, but dangerous.
Randall toe pokes it on down the right-hand side for Sinclair Armstrong, who's up against Bobby Thomas. Ball goes out for a throw to Bristol City, level with the 18-yard line. Sykes wants to take it quickly. Reese has made a run down the right-hand side of the area, but it's gone backward to square to the captain, Jason Knight. Knight slides it short into the feet of Reese. Back to Jason Knight it goes, who tried to clip it round the corner to get Sykes in behind Mason Clark. Poor touch. That's a rarity. Matt Grimes with a misplaced pass. That's a collector's item and no mistake.
Yeah,
throw into Bristol City, 0-0.
Mason Clark should have been on his toes, knowing that was coming straight back to him. But yeah, it's very unlike Matt Grimes.
Throw in for Bristol City to the right-hand corner of the area. Knight wants the ball played back to him by Mehmeti, but it's gone back instead to Borges. Now Borges just lifts it up to the edge of the area, looking for the run of Mehmeti. Coventry have enough sky blue shirts back to get it clear. Strong header downfield from Kitching. Wright tries to nod it down for Sakamoto, who's quick. And then he's barged into by Ross McCrory. Free kick. And Sakamoto straight back to his feet and on his bike in case Coventry wanted to play a quick free kick down the right-hand side.
And it was on him. You know, I think McCrory... Oh, I tell you, that's...
And then Reese dispossesses Liam Kitching as they made an absolute hash of playing a short free kick, Coventry. And it ends up being a Bristol City throw. Half an hour gone, 0-0. Knight works the ball in field for Bristol City. Randall and then Reese works it back to Pring just in front of the centre circle. Out to the left-hand side of McCrory by the left-hand corner of the area. Thought about a cross, but he lays it back to Cameron Pring. He rolls his foot on the ball. Then leaves it for the cross from Mehmeti. Armstrong in front of the keeper, blocked away by Roshworth. And Coventry City survive. So close. And Armstrong wins it back from a ricochet. Drives it from an angle. Comes out to the edge of the area. And it's gone in. But the whistle's gone for a foul in the area. Handball by Sinclair Armstrong, who thought he'd just put Bristol City ahead. But the referee says, no, you handled it. And so Bristol City, who went very close there through the initial cross into the area. Armstrong almost got in front of the goalkeeper, couldn't make it count. 2 shots later he had the ball in the net, but a handball denies Bristol City a lead.
Well, he's been an absolute threat, isn't he, Armstrong? Very, very unlucky there. I've got to say the referee was positioned perfectly. Great ball in from Mehmeti. Armstrong's just running across the path of the ball. Rushworth does ever so well. Brave as well, comes out and gets that contact, but they keep the pressure on, pick up the second ball comes back in. You know what, if it does touch Sampson, it's an excellent finish from Armstrong. Takes a little deflection of I think it's Bobby Thomas to go over Rushworth in the Coventry goal.
Warning signs for Coventry then. Coventry 0, Bristol City 0, 32 minutes gone. Middlesbrough lead QPR by a goal to nil. 3 straight wins for the Borough, and they're 1-0 up at the Riverside. Cross comes in from Coventry from the right hand side, headed away by Borges. Coventry have it again with Grimes, midway point of the Bristol City half. Now Rudoni takes over, brings in Jada Silva, left hand corner of the box. Little clip in and a header from Torp, skims off his forehead and will stay in play over by the corner flag on the right hand side. Van Avijk keeps hold of it, rolls it back for Bobby Thomas, takes a touch, cross into the box is comfortably headed clear by Jason Knight. Birmingham City lead Charlton by a goal to nil at St Andrews in the Championship. Van Avijk trying to wriggle his way down the right hand side, and he's thought he'd want a corner for a moment, then away to our left, but instead it's a Bristol City goal kick. 0-0.
I've got to say it's an excellent ball in from De Silva, and Torp reads the flight of the ball. All the pace and power was on the cross itself. You just have to make sure the contact's right, steer it goalwards, and ask the question of Vitek there. He's tried to generate it, and he's just that head movement, and probably just kind of never got the connection he wanted to on the ball itself.
Wrexham 1, Watford 1. Watford equalise at the racecourse. Gillingham has scored 2 quick goals in League 2 to lead Barrow. 4 straight defeats for the Gills. Sinclair Armstrong is in an offside position for Bristol City. But those front two, Rees and Armstrong, they are starting to unsettle that Coventry backline now, Chris Willema, even if it is still goalless.
Yeah, you're spot on. You know, you're looking at Armstrong. I don't mind it, you know, a couple of offsides because he's trying to play in the shoulder, and they're looking for that pass now as well as an outlet. So it's just getting deeper and deeper, that defensive unit. Mason
Clark trying to get away down the Coventry left. Borges comes across and puts it out of play for a throw. Cardiff have equalised against Doncaster in League 1. The leaders make it 1-1 at the Cardiff City Stadium. A reminder, in the Premier League, both Chelsea and Liverpool 1-0 up at home against Everton and Brighton respectively in the 2-3 o'clock kickoffs. Arsenal Wolves live on Talksport exclusively tonight at 8 p.m. Your rock club going into the Emirates Stadium with all that's been going on with Wolves this season. Oof. Wow.
Yeah, I caught up with Mick McCarthy on Sunday on the phone, and yeah, it's a massive job, isn't it, for Rob?
It can't get any worse, can it, Mick?
It can.
Now, Liam Kitching nods it down inside the area, volley clear by Rob Dickey. No nonsense clearance, but brilliantly brought down out of the sky by Jada Silva. Cushioned it like he's got carpet slippers on and works it back to Matt Grimes. Now De Silva again. This time he's got Emil Rees hunting him down. Grimes. That's a lovely ball. Just bypasses Rees and gives it to De Silva down this near side, who can motor into the midway point of the half. Then leaves it for Mason Clark, and he'll lay it back to Grimes. Grimes finds De Silva again. Not much space to operate in. Lots of red shirts back, and they're keeping it quite narrow as well, Bristol City, for the moment. Here's Liam Kitching. Works it out to Rudoni, who's on the right-hand side for Coventry. He's been everywhere in this first half for the Sky Blues. 10 minutes to half-time, 0-0. Rudoni's ball in field. Can't find a Sky Blue shirt. Bristol City just hoof it clear. Armstrong's giving chase. And as you say, Chris Iwelumo, he's got the beating, you would say, of Bobby Thomas for pace, but Bobby Thomas just knew where his opponent was and managed to shield the ball from him.
Just that quality just needs to be lifted in that final pass from Bristol City if it's the defensive unit playing in behind. But look at this, look at how well structured they are without the ball, Bristol City.
Well, here's Mason Clark's going to go for goal from distance and push wide by Vitek. There was a deflection on that shot, but Vitek plunged to his right and turned it round the post for a Coventry corner, 0-0.
I think that's what the game needs. That's what's going to open Vitek up. Just a bit of quality from distance. Mason Clark takes it on, probably 25 yards there. Takes a little deflection, but Vitek again, good strong hand to it as well, because there's movement on that ball. There's movement.
Barnsley 1, Leyton Orient 1. Orient equalise at Oakwell. Corner to Coventry City here at the CBS Arena with 36 minutes played on your home of the EFL. Talksport 2. Torp to take it. It's in the northwest corner, just down to our left-hand side. Again, a packed 6-yard box awaits this right-footed in-swinging delivery from Victor Torp. Deep, it goes to the far post. Rodoni was the man they were aiming for. Dickey got it, the header clear. De Silva nods it down, and Thomas, just outside the D, gets a touch, tries to work it into the box. It's only half cleared by Bristol City, and Torp tried to clip it out to Rodoni on the right, got it wrong. And now Sinclair Armstrong going to try and lead the charge. It's 4 against 4 for the moment, but instead Armstrong lays it back to Randall, and now picked up by Anis Mehmeti. Armstrong trying to go through the inside left channel, but well marshalled by Milan Van Eyck to win it back for Coventry City.
Good, great defensive position from Van Eyck, isn't it? You know, that ball, but you're spot on, 4v4. I think that's where Sinclair has to go, and go for the big switch for Ross McCrory, who's breaking his neck down this right-hand side.
Cardiff have turned it around. Cardiff 2, Doncaster 1. They were trailing, but now they lead. Middlesbrough 2-0 up on QPR as well, chasing down Coventry. Here's Emil Rees, offside against the former Preston man, and Coventry get a free kick. But they're asking a few questions, Bristol City, and we should expect that given their away form this season. So in the Championship, Birmingham 1 up, 0-0 here. Leicester 1 up, Middlesbrough 2 up, Hull 2 up at Millwall. No goals, Portsmouth, Blackburn, and Wrexham and Watford are 1 apiece. And in the Premier League, still 1-0 to Chelsea against Everton and 1-0 to Liverpool against Brighton. Game day phone in at 5:30 on Talksport with Jamie O'Hara and Jason Cundy. And they'll bring you updates on Burnley against Fulham, which is the 5:30 kickoff tonight at Turf Moor. Van Eyck for Coventry, looks for Sakamoto, tried to take a touch and take it past McCrory immediately, but McCrory wise to it, and it ends up being a Bristol City throw. And styles make fights sometimes, Chris Iwelumo. You've got 3 at the back for Bristol City, 4 at the back for Coventry. There's spaces that at various times both teams can exploit.
No, you're spot on. You know, I think when you're looking at the Bristol City side, when they're out of possession, that 3 does turn into a 5, and then it's like a 5-3-2. But I just need a little bit more from Emil Rees, especially. I know it's down to the quality that he's receiving. He has to make sure that he's asking that question, stretching the pitch. This defensive unit of Coventry stepping up with urgency as well, because they're completely in control.
Oh, it's lifted down the right-hand side of the box for Bristol City, looking for Rees, but they managed to get it clear, and very nice pass from Torp to get it out to this left-hand side, but then Mason Clark takes a heavy touch on halfway. Borges gets a foot in, but Coventry still work it in field. What a turn, Haji Wright to get away from Dickey, gets into the area. The shot is saved by Vitek. Good drive from Haji Wright. He was running out of room. Still got the low shot away, but the keeper equal to it, 0-0.
He's got to pass to Rodoni, 100%. He's got to pass. Fantastic first touch. Rolls his man. He's driving at one. Rodoni's there. And it's one of them. As soon as he takes that third touch, he can't pass it to Rodoni. He's got to take the shot on. He does. He hits the target. But like you say, Vitek, it was a comfortable one for him there in the end. Blackburn
got some of the best away form in the division, even though they're 20th, and they're 1-0 up at Portsmouth. So the deadlock broken in all the Championship games, bar this one now. We've played 39 minutes. Coventry coming forward. Sakamoto down the far right-hand side of the field. And Torp has gone down off the ball, injured himself. And Bristol City are scampering after the loose ball, but Bobby Thomas beats Ross McCrory to it, cleans him out to get the ball back to his keeper. Torp's back on his feet. I don't know what the problem was there for Victor Torp.
Yeah, I think he's taken there's been a challenge, and it's a delayed reaction, isn't it? You know, I think he's went and got the ball. He's moving okay now.
Now Mason Clark for Coventry City on this left-hand side, faced up by Mark Sykes. Oh, he jinks past him to the dead ball line. Dinks the crossover over the head of one of the smallest men on the pitch, Sakamoto. But Van Eyck will retrieve it over on the far side of the field. Tries to go inside his man, but Mehmeti got a foot in, and he got a foot in on Bobby Thomas. It ends up being a Coventry throw, closer to the halfway line than the 18-yard line. 0-0 the score.
Well, this is your man, Mason Clark. What a game, what a half he's having. Every time he gets the ball, it's end product coming in. It'd be an absolute delight. Good quality coming into the box as well. Sakamoto has to go and attack it. For me, Van Eyck has to be in that back area just to make sure that he's picking up those. Can he put it back into the? He's reactive rather than anticipating and being in that space.
It's the thoughts of Chris Iwelumo alongside me, Ian Danter, here at the Coventry Building Society Arena, where we've got 4 minutes to half time. High tempo Championship fixture, but no goals to speak of as yet. Coventry throw the ball in from that far right hand side, but between Pring and McCrory. They get it clear, back towards the halfway line. Another throw for Coventry, but pretty much from just inside their own half. Thomas is going to leave it for Van Eyck. He won't reach the penalty area from there. He'll throw it into Grimes, gives it back to Van Eyck, under pressure from Rees. So Bobby Thomas turns and finds the Brighton loanee, Carl Rushworth, in the Coventry goal. And ball's been worked from right to left. Grimes was forced into a heavy touch by a poor pass infield from De Silva. So it's a Bristol City throw now on halfway.
Yeah, I think Gerhard Struber will be absolutely delighted with the way his team have been a threat, as well as try and absorb as much pressure as they have done. They've defended well, but then in that transition I think they've shown some real good quality.
Oh, lovely touch from Adam Randall, and he finds Ross McCrory into the area left hand side, trying to pull it across the area looking for Armstrong, but he could only find Bobby Thomas. I thought that McCrory could have gone further into the penalty area there, but he crossed early, 0-0.
Yeah, I think you're spot on. I think that first touch, take it into the 18-yard box, commit the defender, make the defender make a decision, and then that's when you can actually create a little bit of space. I think the kind of decision of the pass was right, just to play it in between that last defender and goalkeeper along the floor with pace.
Now a foul by McCrory on Sakamoto, who was trying to prevent a corner kick to Bristol City. Means the Sky Blues have a free kick deep inside their own half, near the corner flag on the right hand side. Kick's taken short by Thomas de Torp, who works it back for his keeper. Leyton Orient back in front at Barnsley, 2-1 they lead at Oakwell, and Blackpool have got a goal back at home to Lincoln. Blackpool 1, Lincoln 2, and Watford back in front in the Championship at Wrexham. Wrexham 1, Watford 2. Here's Jack Rodoni for Coventry City with a couple of minutes to go with the first half. Grimes now finds Jay De Silva down this left hand side into the feet of Rodoni. Mason Clark takes over. Lovely quick feet from him. Torp just inside the area, faced up by red shirts, finds Rodoni. The cross is deflected off a shin, and then Hadji Wright goes in. I think Vitek's all right. I don't think that's a penalty. I think Vitek got there ahead of Hadji Wright and was going to make it his. I thought that was more a foul from Wright on Vitek than the other way round. Doesn't matter because he's given us a goal kick.
Well, Vitek has to get contact on the ball. If I'm looking at Vitek and he's saying to the referee his foot's up, I think Hadji Wright has got every right to go for that ball, and if he actually gets the first touch to the ball, Vitek's then contacted him. It's a penalty kick, isn't it? But the referees was in good position. Goal kick he's given, but when you look at the goalkeeper actually going to the referee then saying high foot, for me it's like, he's got off one there.
Strikers Union,
yep.
Kicks in again. Chris Iwelamo alongside me, Ian Danta here at the CBS Arena. Leicester have doubled their lead just up the M69 here against Ipswich, 2-0 to the Foxes in the Championship. They led Bristol City by 2-0 at half-time at Ashton Gate on Tuesday, but Gerhard Struber's men fought back for a point, and arguably, from what I've read and seen, they should have won it. And they're in possession with McCrory. Puts the ball into the Coventry box. Rees with a header straight to the goalkeeper. Just got half a yard away from Kitching, but couldn't quite apply the power he wanted on the header.
It's excellent from Emile Rees, just the flight of the ball, knows exactly where Kitchen is, and it's just like there wasn't that much pace on the ball, so he had to try and generate it himself.
Vitek has to come darting out of his area because Coventry were trying to release Hadji Wright in between Pring and Borges. It's a good ball, and if Vitek hadn't been on his bike, might have not got there in time, and Hadji Wright might have been away for a one-on-one. We're into a minute of minimum stoppage time at the end of this first half on Talksport 2. You're home with the EFL. Don't forget the darts is ongoing on the Talksport app right now, with the first round matches continuing in the World Championship. Down the left-hand side, Ephraim Mason-Clark, who's been lively for Coventry in the first half, gets to the byline, drags the ball onto his right. Cross from Jay De Silva's headed away by Borges. Touchdown by Torp for Van Eyck. Urged to shoot by one or two around us. Instead, he works it out to Sakamoto on the right wing. Tatsuhiro Sakamoto will just keep the ball away from Ross McCrory. Van Eyck goes back to Kitching, just in front of the centre circle. Kitching fires it into the feet of Rodoni, tries to turn at the 18-yard line, but Pring got there ahead of him and just hoofs it downfield. And Rushworth guides it down on the half volley And that signals the end of the half as the referee blows his whistle. And the two teams that have kept the most clean sheets in the Championship so far this campaign, 7 apiece, are keeping each other out here. And the leaders, Coventry, have had their moments. Hadji Wright striking the foot of the post when unleashing a drive from the right-hand side of the box. Bristol City almost scored from a similar position, very tight to the byline at the other end of the pitch, when Sinclair Armstrong rattled the angle of post and bar. And he's had a good shot on the turn, well saved by Carl Rushworth. There have been opportunities for both sides to break the deadlock, but no one's managed it yet. Tight and tense, second half in store, live on Talksport 2. At the break, it's Coventry City 0, Bristol City 0.
Ian, thank you very much. Yes, it is goalless then in this encounter, but there have been chances for both teams. Let's review that first half with Chris Iwelumo. And Chris, obviously beforehand we were talking about the lineup that Frank Lampard had opted for, in particular with Hadji Wright preferred to Ellis Sims. I know there are no goals in this game as of yet, but does it look like that was the right decision?
Yeah, but I think he's done well, Hadji Wright. I think he's found those little pockets. He's got in behind. He's asked Vitek a couple of questions. It's just that final bit of quality and just needs to be raised. I think I look at the qualities coming in from the wide areas. Jay De Silva, Mason Clark, Sakamoto at the other side with Van Ewijk. For me, I think Ellis Sims is the player that's going to go and be more competitive, to go and attack and win those first contacts. But I think you got to put a lot down to Vitek. You got to put a lot down to the defensive unit of Bristol City. Without the ball, they're very, very organised and trying to nullify the threat. Albeit Coventry having a lot of the ball, playing forward, getting into fantastic areas. It's that final challenge, final contact from Bristol City that is definitely made the difference. And Vitek has been outstanding in the first half.
And with the way the results are going right now, their lead at the top now is being cut to 3 points, which does seem a bit baffling when we were talking about a few weeks ago how far ahead they were of everyone else. I say that, obviously they're still actually, weirdly, they're actually 10 points now clear of Preston and Millwall on 35 points. So even though they're not winning this game, they've actually extended their lead by the fact that it's a draw currently in this game. Of the two managers then, would you feel like Gerhard Struber will be more happier with what's happened in this game so far?
Well, I think he'll be happy with how his team have went out and posed a threat with probably a lot less of possession of the ball. I think they've defended well. I think it took them a little bit of time. Emile Rees and Armstrong were dropping pretty deep as well, so when they did break the Coventry play down and they try and play, that there wasn't that pass on. Armstrong's grew into the game because they need service, both of those types of players. It's all about the service that they get from back to front, from wide areas coming into the box. So if you're going to get it, they're going to definitely make sure that they're playing on the shoulder. Emile Rees has been caught offside on a couple of occasions, but by doing the right thing, stretching the pitch, Natalie. So what that does, it actually then makes the Coventry defensive unit drop a little bit deeper, because they have the threat in behind. They try and nullify that, and it allows the likes of Mehmeti, it allows the likes of Jason Knight to go on the ball, Randall to go on the ball, McCrory and Sykes to bomb forward and to get into good areas as well. So I think Frank Lampard will say, go out, you controlled the game, you've got into good areas. It's just that final bit of quality, that final moment, that final decision. There's been a couple of times Hadji Wright can release Rodoni, Hadji Wright can look for the pass, but he's a striker that's not scored in over 2 months. You know what I mean? So we understand why he wants to get the goal, but it's a team game. You know what I mean? If Coventry get that first goal, Bristol City then will have to then take necessary risk to try and get back into the game. And what does that do? It will create spaces for Coventry to have more influence in those attacking areas.
And of course, Frank Lampard knows he can turn to someone like Ellis Sims if he needs to, and if the game needs the potential goals from him to change it.
Yeah, spot on. And I think he's done that numerous times this season. Come off the bench, have that positive influence, bring goals, create for others. He did. He came off the bench, and I think with his first contact away at Stoke City in that game that we were covering a couple of weeks ago, that little contact for Mason Clark to have that acrobatic goal. So this is what he is. He's the ultimate professional. He'll come on. He knows he's got his job to do with the team, and that's down again, credit to Frank Lampard. Everyone's on the same page. Everyone wants to win. when everyone wants to do their bit for the team. If it be from the bench, if it's from the start, you have that opportunity to do exactly that.
All right, Chris, for now, we'll chat a little bit later on, but let's now preview tonight's Premier League action as Burnley host Fulham in a 5:30 kickoff, and we're joined now by Talksport reporter John Dunn to look ahead to the game. How you doing, John?
Good afternoon, Natalie. It's cold as ever in Burnley, but looking forward to this one tonight. Not sure the two teams will be, both on really poor form. Fulham maybe slightly better, winning 3, losing 3 of their last 6. Last away game at Spurs a couple of weeks ago, finally got their first away Premier League win of the season. For Burnley, they beat Wolves at the end of October. 6 straight defeats since then. They're 2 away from a club record.
Of course, though, and you're right to point out that sort of form that you mentioned there. Most people look at this on paper and go, well, this should be an away win for Fulham. But, as I'm sure you well know, John, it's, 29 league visits to Turf Moor without a win. You've got to go back to 1951 for the last time Fulham won at Burnley.
Yeah, it's a crazy stat, and Fulham fans travelling will be looking at that and thinking, why are we even making the trip? Burnley fans will be clinging to it, particularly after those 6 straight defeats. It's one of them, isn't it? Like you say, it's a record that goes back to the 50s, but for some reason fans will cling to that as though it was yesterday. But it will certainly give Burnley a bit of a boost today.
It certainly will. And actually, Turf Moor, not an easy place for teams to go to in terms of scoring goals. I think, 12 goals scored overall, so home and away with the teams that have played there. And the likes of Arsenal, Liverpool, Chelsea, Palace have travelled there. So Burnley can make it tight. I know I'm not suggesting that, they've been winning all those games, but they don't make it easy for opposition sides to make the trip there.
No, definitely not. Although they have conceded a lot of goals this season, it's been mainly been away from home. You're right, here at home, even when they've lost, it's been tight games. The wins they've had have both been 2-0, only 2 Premier League home wins in their 7 games. They are tight, they are tense. Burnley just need to get over the line. They've struggled for goals this season. I think it's only 7 they've scored here at Turf Moor. That's the difference. They somehow need to find the key that will get them the goal, and if they can keep things tight at the back as they did so well last season in the Championship, they've got a bit of a chance of remaining in the Premier League.
Yeah, and the other issue, of course, that they have is that they're 5 points off safety. They can't have that gap widening anymore, John.
No, that's massive, particularly as you come into Christmas. So many games. What you don't want to do is head into January and that gap getting bigger. The squad will certainly be tested for Scott Parker during that period.
Well, I hope you've got your thermals, your scarf, your hat, your gloves and everything, John. We look forward to updates from you later on. Thank you.
Thanks, Natalie.
A reminder then, we'll have updates of Burnley against Fulham during the game day phone-in on Talksport. That's from 5:30. Get your calls in right now to Jamie O'Hara and Jason Cundy on 03717 223344 so you can have your say on all of today's action. Next here on Talksport 2, the second half is coming up between Coventry and Bristol City, and we should also bring you half-time classifiers from the Premier League and EFL too.
Talksport 2, official broadcast partner of the Premier League and the English Football League.
Hawksby and Jacobs on your side every weekday afternoon from 1 on Talksport with Toolstation, delivering cutting-edge comment, a catalogue of riveting guests, and drilled-down dialogue to power up your lunchtime. Plus, breaking news, views, and loads of laughs. Don't miss the nation's favourite sporting lunch with the legendary Hawksby and Jacobs every weekday afternoon from 1 on Talksport with Toolstation. Next stop, Toolstation.
Want 4 for 3 on Christmas party food? Thought so? Well, go to M&S because they have 4 for 3 on party food. And there's loads to choose from. Hot smoked salmon rosti, pecorino and chorizo tortillas, maple bacon pancake stacks with hot maple syrup, bite-sized Serrano ham and cheese croissants. I could go on. This is not just party food, is it? No, it isn't. It's M&S party food. Selected stores. Offer available till January 1st. T's and C's apply.
Season's greetings, festive humans. It's me, a National Lottery scratch card. In case you haven't noticed, it's nearly Christmas, and I am a genuinely brilliant little present, like a surprise extra gift. You can put me in a card, or hide me in a stocking. I'll even roll up and fit inside a cracker if that's what you're into. And I could win them some money. Imagine that. Not such a little gift after all.
Buy a National Lottery scratch card and add some play to Christmas. Gift responsibly. Rules apply. 18+.
It's another busy Sunday in the Thing household. Mr. Thing is leaf blowing, Ash is watching the footy, and the twins are power washing the cars, and everything else in sight. They're all making the most of half-price electricity from British Gas. Available every Sunday from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. with Peak Save. One of the ways we're taking care of things. Search British Gas half-price electricity to see what you could save. T's and C's apply. Up to 60 kilowatts per session. Eligible tariff and smart meter required.
Quaker is an official sponsor of Team GB, and rightly so. After all, the rowing team's motto is Oats Move Boats. But why stop there? Team GB, if you're listening, try these on for size. Quaker sachets move bob sleighs. Ugly bowl forward roll. One for the gymnasts. The world's your stage when you eat some beige? Maybe just stick to Oats Move Boats. Quaker. Deliciously real, deliciously ugly sponsor of Team GB.
MyMotorworld.com. Flat battery, blown bulb, wipers past their best. Don't worry, you can fit it yourself at home. With big brands and low prices, starting from just £1.99 for wipers, $4.99 for bulbs, and batteries from just $39.99. Those life journeys don't need to cost the earth. Don't wait for a flat start. Power up, brighten up, clear up with MyMotorworld.com. Delivery from just £3.95.
MyMotorworld.com.
TV Mag, free inside the sun. Grab a pen and sit down to plan all your festive fun. Oh, TV Mag, double issue size. Grandad snores through Strictly after eating 10 mince pies. Hey!
You'd be crackers to spend over a £5 on the Radio Times this Christmas when you can get a free TV Mag with The Sun. Get your 120-page double-issue Christmas and New Year TV Mag this Saturday in The Sun.
Your live sports station.
Oh, what a move.
This is Talksport 2.
This is Game Day. Halftime classifieds.
You're listening to Talksport 2, the home of the EFL. I'm Natalie Sawyer, and let's get you your halftime classified scores. Starting with
Premier League.
Chelsea 2, Everton 0, Liverpool 1, Brighton 0.
Sky Bet Championship.
In the Championship, 3 early scores. Norwich beat Southampton 2-1. Preston were 2-1 winners at Oxford, and Stoke won 2-1 at home to Swansea. At half-time, Birmingham lead Charlton by 1-0. Goalless between Coventry and Bristol City. It's Leicester 2, Ipswich 0, Middlesbrough 2, QPR 0. Hull are leading 2-0 at Millwall. Blackburn are 1-up at Portsmouth, and Watford are 2-1 up at Wrexham.
Sky Bet League One.
In the early kickoffs, it finished goalless between AFC Wimbledon and Mansfield, and it was 1-1 between Huddersfield and Wigan. But at the break now, it's Leyton Orient who lead 2-1 at Barnsley. Lincoln are 2-1 up at Blackpool. Exeter 1-0, they lead at Bolton. Bradford and Reading are goalless, as they are between Burton and Wickham. It's 2-2 between Cardiff and Doncaster. 1-1 Luton and Port Vale. Peterborough 1-0 up against Northampton. Plymouth are 1-0 up at home to Rotherham, and Stevenage lead 1-0 at Stockport.
Sky Bet League Two.
In the early kickoffs, Swindon were 3-0 winners at Bristol Rovers, and Salford beat Colchester by 4-3. At half-time, it's goalless between Accrington and Bromley, Cheltenham and Harrogate. Chesterfield are 2-1 up at home to Barnet. Crawley lead 1-0 at home to Oldham. Gillingham are 2-0 up at home to Barrow. Goalless between Grimsby and Notts County. MK Dons lead Cambridge United by 1-0. Fleetwoods are 2-0 up at Newport. Crewe are 2-0 up at Tranmere, and Walsall lead 1-0 at home to Shrewsbury. So that wraps things up so far in the EFL and Premier League fixtures. But let's take you back to the CBS Arena to look ahead to this second half as we await Coventry and Bristol City. And it's Ian Danter and Chris Iwelumo who are your commentary team for this one. And Dance, let's bring you into this conversation and get your thoughts on how Coventry are faring right now, because obviously they're coming to this game having not won their last two, and they've been maybe troubled a little bit in the sense that they haven't been able to score in this game.
I think arguably they've probably got the best team out there that they could have put out, with given that Thomas Asante stood out with a hamstring injury. The players are just coming out the tunnel now. I don't think there's anything for the Coventry fans to have got too perturbed about, because we know about Bristol City's form. There's been enough moments. It's the final ball has been lacking at times. Chris mentioned the ball from Van Eyck that he should have done better with. Mason Clark's been in good positions. They're getting themselves in decent areas, but Bristol City are funneling players back, and they're doing a manful job in defence, and just occasionally going forward. they've got Coventry's backline spooked a little bit. It's an intriguing second half, and I think there'll be a change at the start of the second half for Bristol City as well, Natalie.
Okay. Well, is it time to hand you back then? Hand you back?
If you wish.
No, I don't know. You can see it all in front of you. I don't want to throw it too early. That's why I'm asking.
I'm junior to your senior. I wait for you to tell me what to do.
We'll just keep throwing it back and forth. No, it's you.
After you, to me. Well, it's like the Chuckle Brothers.
Exactly that. Well, do you know what? I think it probably is best that we hand it back to you because I don't want to miss a thing. And the heat is on Coventry when you consider what's happening elsewhere in the league. So, second half awaits between Coventry and Bristol City. It is Chris Iwellamo and Ian Danton.
Thank you, Natalie. 2 song titles in a row there. Don't want to miss a thing, and the heat is on. So, Yu Hirakawa is being readied by Bristol City to come on at the start of the second half. I think it's Mark Sykes that's made way for him. We're waiting for confirmation because he's not actually on the pitch. Everybody else is out there for both sets of players. But Yu Hirakawa, I think, has put his training bib back on. And Sykes is out there. No, McCrory's gone to the right-hand side. I can't see Mark Sykes out there unless my eyes deceive me.
No, you're right. Yep. He's put his bib back on, though.
I thought Hirakawa was putting his bib back on. In fact, they have decided to change it, and instead, it's not Yu Hirakawa, who was warming up for quite some time. He's not coming on. Hayden Roberts is instead for Bristol City. Well, that makes sense. So a change of heart right at the last there from Gerhard Struber. Roberts is a left-sided player. It would allow Ross McCrory, which he has done, to go over to the right-hand side. So Roberts has replaced Sykes at the start of the second half for Bristol City. Coventry in their sky blue get us back underway.
Well, that makes complete sense. If Sykes was having issues, then McCrory would go over there. Hayden Roberts, you know what you're going to get. He's got that energy, up and down, end product. Defensively as well, he's switched on, picks up good defensive positions.
Coventry then attacking the south stand away to our right-hand side in front of the travelling, 1,200, I would say, Bristol City fans who've made the journey up the M5 and the M42 and M6 to get here. I'll run you through the lineups in a minute. Jack Rodoni is carrying the ball down the left-hand side for Coventry City. 0-0 as we start the second half. Rodoni brings the ball infield, looking for Jada Silva to feed Ephraim Mason-Clark up against Ross McCrory. Swap wings now for Bristol City. Jada Silva with a cross into the near post, headed away by Dickey, and then Rees tried to win the ball midway point of his own half and couldn't do so. Ball is back with Matt Grimes, teasing it out to the left-hand side for Jada Silva. Grimes with a first-time ball into the box from deep, flicked away from right by Dickey. Sakamoto looking to let the ball run out of play, so the Coventry get a corner early in the second half with Rushworth in goal. Van Eyck, Thomas, Kitching and De Silva, Torp, Grimes, Sakamoto, Rodoni, Mason-Clark, and right for Bristol City, it's Vitek, and now McCrory, Borges, Dickey, Pring, and Roberts, Randall, Knight and Mehmeti, Armstrong and Rees.
Yeah, very much started off in the same vein. Coventry, great quality down that left-hand side. Excellent crosses coming in. I've got to say, defended well. Dickey making sure he goes and makes a good contact, clearing the area as well, but picking up second balls.
Here comes the corner from Coventry into the near post, headed up to the edge of the area, kept away from Torp by a further header clear. Van Eyck lobs it back to the edge of the area. Flag goes up for offside against a Coventry player. Couple of minutes gone in the second half, and it's still 0-0. The only goal in the Championship so far that is goalless. We had 3 2-1 scorelines at lunchtime, including the game we brought you at 12:30, where Norwich got just their second home win of the season, seeing Southampton off by 2-1. Preston won by the same scoreline at Oxford, and Stoke, well, that's a very much needed win after losing 5 of their last 6. They beat Swansea by 2-1 at the Bet365. Sinclair Armstrong gets the benefit of a ricochet midway point of the Coventry half, up to the edge of the area, takes a drive, and it's blocked behind by Thomas for a Bristol City corner early in the second half here at the CBS Arena. 0-0.
Yeah, he's very much isolated there, isn't he? Sinclair Armstrong there, good. Got a little bit fortunate with the bounce of the ball, but he's got himself into a 1v1 situation, just tries to take the ball onto his right. Good defending, nice block from Bobby Thomas if anything, can Emile Reese get around about him, create another option, give him an outlet there?
So Bristol City's corner, right hand side, floated in from the right corner, looking for the head of McCrory, but there was a whistle you heard for the push on a Coventry player inside their own penalty box. So it'll be a free kick taken quickly by Carl Rushworth for Thomas, who gives it back to Carl Rushworth. Gets his head up. Kitching wants it played to him just outside the area, and Grimes, who so often drops to sit in between the two centre-halves to direct operations, finds Thomas again on halfway, into the feet of Sakamoto with his back to play, lays it off for Van Eyck. Thomas now gets his head up, hits a diagonal ball, drives it infield. It'll almost go through for Mason Clark, but he just couldn't control it on his chest.
It's actually taken on. It's an excellent ball as well, but had you right, he's touching his face now. He's read the flight of the ball well, but I think there might have just been a slight touch and it's come into his face. He still tried to control it, but again, excellent pocket that he's found, excellent ball to him as well. Just I think defensively, Bristol City I think it was Dickey that got the touch, or Borges that got the final touch.
0-0 it remains on Talksport 2, your home of the EFL. A foul on McCrory. Gives a free kick to Bristol City, and again they're looking early for Sinclair Armstrong, who again is trying to get the benefit of a 50-50 against Bobby Thomas, but this time Thomas gets a free kick for a push by the big man up front, once of QPR, Sinclair Armstrong. Redoni carries the ball up to the halfway line as Coventry restart play fairly quickly. Then it's worked infield for Matt Grimes. Thomas at the edge of the centre circle, plays the ball to his immediate left. Now Jay Da Silva takes over. 5 minutes gone in the second half, 0-0. Bristol City making a change, must have been forced on Gerhard Struber. Sykes was doing a pretty decent job in that right wing back position, but now players are back in more natural positions with McCrory on the right and Thomas on the left, or Roberts rather, on the left. Here's Grimes for Coventry, just over the halfway line. Plays the ball out left to Mason Clark, who'd come deep. Now Redoni takes over. Da Silva is out there with him on the far left-hand side. Redoni whips an early cross in, but cleared away by Neto Borges at the back. Here's Jay Da Silva, clipping the ball to the far post, looking for Sakamoto. Important header clear by Hayden Roberts. I'm running through the Bristol City team. I didn't have the chance to do that, did I? Oh no, I did. With the fact that Armstrong and Reese are the front two behind the three in midfield.
The game is crying out for Ellis Sims. The ball that's coming in, you've got Sakamoto there waiting for it, waiting. So you need someone that's going to be aggressive and go and meet it at its highest point. And like you say, there's some fantastic quality coming in from, especially that left channel.
Well, long throw coming in from Milan Van Eyck for Coventry City from this near side, the right. Packed penalty area, full of sky blue and red shirts. Thrown in and headed back to Van Eyck by Rob Dickey. Gets to the byline, dinks the cross to the far post. The heads go up. That's well defended by Borges, and it actually came off a Coventry player last of all, so it ends up being a goal kick for the visitors. But Borges had to be brave right in front with Coventry players colliding with him, and it ends up being a goal kick to Bristol City, 0-0.
Yeah, wonderful ball from Van Eyck, and it's Bobby Thomas it was that went and attacked it, and like you say, Borges done ever so well just to kind of make sure he got that contact. It did come off Bobby Thomas last as well. I've got to say Stephen Martin, official, fantastic position as well.
As Vitek, who had a good first half in goal for Bristol City, fires it downfield, drops on halfway for Matt Grimes though. Coventry trying to keep the tempo, keep as much possession as they can. Redoni trying to release Mason Clark down the left hand side. It's overhit, and Dickey couldn't quite let the ball just drift behind the dead ball line for a goal kick because the ball was running out of speed, so he ended up putting out a play for a throw, and Van Eyck has come across from right to the far left-hand side to take this next long throw for the Sky Blues, 0-0.
Yeah, I think Dickey just get his body between man and ball there. I think there would be enough pace for the ball to actually go out of play. Mason Clark, again, just forcing the issue, isn't he? On the front foot, trying to put Dickey under pressure, but I think it was the wrong decision just to put the foot through it.
So here comes Van Eyck's latest long throw, really hurled into the near post, but strong header clear by Dickey. Van Eyck retrieves the loose ball centre of the half, puts another looping centre into the area, but it's too high for Thomas, who'd come forward, and so it ends up being a goal kick once again for Bristol City. 53 minutes played now on your home of the EFL. Still no score at the Coventry Building Society Arena. Here's Chris Wellerman.
Yeah, but it's no fail if it's putting crosses in. You know, every opportunity. You're looking at Van Eyck down this right-hand side as well, left-hand side. Balls are coming into the box. I've got to say Hayden Roberts there. Fantastic, just how he marshalled Bobby Thomas. I'll tell you what, there's not a lot in it. There isn't a lot in it from Armstrong and Bobby Thomas coming together there.
50-50 that was given us a foul by Armstrong against Thomas. They've been very, very much at each other's throats for most of this game. Here's Ephraim Mason-Clark down the Coventry left, working the ball in field for Radoni. He gives it back to Mason-Clark, but a lovely foot in from Emil Rees. Won it back for Bristol City. Down has gone Sinclair Armstrong. No foul, says the referee. Coventry fans getting behind their team as Jay Da Silva lays it off to Radoni. First time ball whipped into the near post. Dickey there again for Bristol City. Back to Grimes, the Coventry captain. Steers it out to Da Silva, left-hand side. Gets to the left-hand corner of the area, feints to cross, then leaves it for Jack Radoni in a similar position. Cross in, and they've let it go all the way across the face of goal and behind for a goal kick, 0-0.
Well, it has to be a contact from Hadji Wright there. It's a wonderful ball. It's a wonderful ball in. I think it's Bobby Thomas actually that put the ball in, but I'm just looking at Hadji Wright. The game is crying out. It's crying out because, like you say, every time Coventry get into that attacking third, they're looking, can we put crosses in? Can we put crosses in? We'll pick up second balls. People are gambling, making sure there's Coventry shots in the box. Bristol City defending ever so well, making sure that they're on the first contacts. If not, they're there trying to pick up the second contacts as well. But you can't question the quality that's coming into the 18-yard box.
Premier League action live tonight on Talksport. 8 o'clock kickoff at the Emirates. Arsenal against Wolves. Hadji Wright for Coventry City, down the left-hand side at 0-0. Level with the 18-yard line. Toe pokes it into the area for Mason-Clark. Drifting down the left-hand side of the area. Works it back to Torp at the edge of the area. Trying to get the ball on his right for a shot. Turns onto his left and the shot is blocked by Jason Knight. But they've kept it alive, Coventry. Da Silva finds Torp again. Left-hand corner of the area. Chips it to the far post. He was looking for Van Eyck. Headed away. Thomas tries to work the ball back into the area, but Mehmeti gets the bounce of the ball. And he will lob it up to halfway, but nowhere near Emil Rees. So Coventry have it back. And again, the home fans raise their voices to encourage their troops.
Yeah, you just look at Emil Rees, you look at Armstrong, look how deep they are now. Basically, it's...
Ball whipped into the area, might drop for Radoni, but no, just couldn't bring it down into his own path. And it's sent up to halfway. Once again, Sinclair Armstrong is fighting for possession, but on this occasion, Liam Kitching comfortably comes away with the ball. Da Silva finds Mason-Clark, again down the left-hand side of the area, works it back to Kitching at the edge of the area, tried to drive and it was blocked at source by some great defending from Adam Randall. Now, Sinclair Armstrong showing his pace and getting into the Coventry half. He's fouled by Van Eyck, who's going to get a yellow card for the challenge he's just put in.
I've got to say it's an excellent run. He's just isolated. He's on his own. He cannot do anything else there, Armstrong. And it's just a fantastic decision. Good control of the ball, taking it across the running path of Van Eyck. And I think the referee's spot on to bring the yellow card out there. But when that ball gets up to Armstrong, there has to be an urgency in that three. If it's Mehmeti, if it's Rees, has to be around about him anyway. But because they're so defensive, that when he gets the ball, he's on his own. So he gives that little bit of respite up the pitch now. They need to be better with the ball. Bristol City, 100%.
29,505 inside the CBS Arena this afternoon as the attendance is just confirmed on the giant screen to our right. 57 minutes gone. Still no score. As Rob Dickey works the ball out to Neto Borges, and then McCrory tucks it in field for Randall. Space down this left-hand side for Hayden Roberts, and he's got it, brings it down on his chest for Bristol City, across the face of goal. Mehmeti couldn't get a touch, and Rees at the far post snatched at an effort. The ball was coming at him at pace, and he just couldn't control it. Ends up being a goal kick to Coventry, 0-0.
Yeah, much better. That's what it is now. This formation is so important. Hayden Roberts, Ross McCrory can ball forward. They've both got end product. Fantastic ball across. I think Mehmeti's got to be there. Emil Rees again anticipating. You've got to break your neck to make sure that you're picking up at that back post area. Can you put it back into the danger area or get your shot away yourself there?
Torp knocks it down but can't find a teammate now, and it's Mehmeti away for Bristol City. Great challenge, Bobby Thomas sliding in to put it out of play for a throw to Bristol City on this near side as Mehmeti threatened to get away.
Just showed a little bit too much of it there. Bobby Thomas had committed to the challenge from a couple of metres away, threw himself, had to make sure he got contact with the ball there. Good challenge it was.
Back it goes to the halfway line and Rob Dickey for Bristol City. Now away down the right-hand side, McCrory trying to get away, but Borges couldn't find him with the pass. And now Coventry City breaking with Ephraim Mason-Clark, driving towards the edge of the penalty area. Works it through to Haji Wright, right-hand side of the area, faced up the defender. The shot was blocked, and there's enough red shirts back to get it clear somewhat hurriedly. And it's a Coventry throw, and they're starting to turn the screw here, the league leaders. 0-0 the score.
Yeah, good ref officiating there, allowing that one to play on there. Mason Clark driving outside of the boot, right boot as well, to Haji Wright, and he brings it back onto his left. I think he's got to just manipulate it, get that yard on your right hand side, and you can go across goal. I think again, it's just one of them. Confidence plays a massive part, Ian, but he's just not quite there.
Approaching the hour mark on Talksport 2. Remember, we'll have live darts for you tonight from the evening session at Ali Pali in the World Darts. Van Ewijk's long throw into the area, drops at the edge of the box. Sakamoto just knocks the ball back to halfway, and it's actually Rushworth, the Coventry keeper, that's come out to collect it and leave it for Jay Da Silva. Diagonal ball from Da Silva, left to right, looking for Thomas, but the offside flag, there was a push in actual fact, forgive me, from Thomas on the Bristol City defender, who was Emil Rees, back helping out his team. So it's a free kick to the Robins, just shy of the hour mark. There is currently darts going on at the moment at Ali Pali, the final match of the afternoon session. Gary Anderson against Adam Hunt. That's all on the app this afternoon, the live darts. If you've got the app downloaded, you can easily swap between Talksport, Talksport 2, and stuff on the app that you can access from the live games tab on the bottom right-hand corner of your home screen. An hour gone. The league leaders still can't find their way past Bristol City, who are coming forward themselves with Emil Rees. The ball breaks for Hayden Roberts, left-hand corner of the area, tries to drag it across the face of goal. Coventry get it half clear, but Roberts has it back as he approaches the area. Now Mehmeti, left-hand corner of the box, lovely right-footed ball in, and the header's brilliantly saved by Rushworth. What a chance for Bristol City to take the lead, but Carl Rushworth stuck out a right glove. I think it was Emil Rees that got the header in, or was it Ross McCrory? Either way, brilliant save, Carl Rushworth. Bristol City corner 0-0.
I've got to say, outstanding. It's Mehmeti again, just great quality. It was Randall that actually broke from deep and just got that final contact, but I've got to say, Rushworth there, what a save that is.
But a corner to Bristol City, sent to around the penalty spot, nodded down by McCrory, and that's gone out of play. It's going to be given us a goal kick. It's a great chance for Bristol City because Mehmeti's delivery right on the mark. Randall's header kept out by Rushworth. Good goalkeeping.
So just a reaction save, isn't it? Good strong hand as well. I don't think there's too much pace on the ball for Rushworth to come, but that's where you've got to be switched on. Bristol City not really seen too much of the ball, but got themselves into that attacking third. Fantastic quality, excellent run, bodies breaking the neck to get on the end of things there. I'll tell you what, it's free kick.
A free kick for a foul on Rob Dickey. So it's all getting a bit tetchy out there. The yellow cards are starting, well, not so much the yellow cards, but certainly the fouls are starting to pile up. As the ball's out on the left-hand side for Bristol City with Hayden Roberts, who came on as a half-time sub for Mark Sykes. Back it goes to Liam Kitching as Coventry will try and build again. Back it goes to Kitching. He's just next to the centre circle inside his own half. Plays the ball out to the left-hand side and Jay Da Silva. Coventry 0, Bristol City 0. 62 minutes played on Talksport 2, your home of the EFL. Don't forget Arsenal Wolves later tonight on Talksport, and then Game Day Live tomorrow with Sam Matterface and the team from 1:30. Loads of Premier League action tomorrow, including the little matter of the Tyne Weir derby. Lots of games kicking off at 2 o'clock tomorrow. Goals as they go in, and the very fastest updates here on Talksport on Game Day Live. Coventry in possession inside the Bristol City half. Matt Grimes finds De Silva, far left-hand side, thought about cross, turns inside Randall, gets to the edge of the area. The block tackle comes in from McCrory and goes behind for a corner kick to the hosts at the southeast corner, 0-0.
Yeah, he's done well there, just De Silva. It's just got away from him, but he's reacted well. He's got in the face, got a little bit fortunate with the last contact, going out for a corner kick. But like you say, this Bristol City side with the ball, they're trying to kind of play a little bit more direct, but without it, very, very compact. Two defensive units, isn't it? Coventry are moving the ball quick, but they're going a little bit more direct into the box.
Grimes corner, floated deep to the far post. Thomas gets up, heads it against the post, and Bristol City hook it clear. Back he goes into the box, right, puts it across the face of goal. Vital touch, Mason Clark makes it. And finally, Coventry City hit the front just past the hour. Thomas had just hit the post from Grimes' corner. Bristol City tried to clear their lines. Haji Wright was in there again. And then Mason Clark got the vital touch at the near post. I think it was Jason Knight that couldn't get it clear. Mason Clark profited, and the leaders lead. Coventry 1, Bristol City 0.
Well, you say it was coming, it was down to good defensive qualities. It wasn't. Fantastic header there from Bobby Thomas off the post, picking up second balls. Great little run from Haji Wright as well. Little one just down the side, all tight within 7-8 yards from goal. He just puts it across the face of goal, and Mason Clark gets that final contact. Like you say, he's got a little assist to his name as well. He'll be disappointed he's not got his goal, but the goal was coming. Mason Clark's been good as well, though, hasn't he? He has been good.
He's been very lively throughout the game as Ephraim Mason Clark. He's arguably deserved that goal for his work rate. So Coventry City are in front, and for the first time I can think of in a while at home, they've managed to find the net first before the opposition. So what have Bristol City got in response? Well, they've got Hayden Robertson space on this left-hand side, working an early cross into the edge of the area, volleyed clear by Grimes, comes back to Pring. Pring slides it down the left-hand side of the box. Mehmeti onside, twisting and turning, trying to get away from Van Eyck. Puts the cross in, comes off the backside of Sakamoto, and it'll be a corner to Bristol City. Liverpool are 2-0 up against Brighton. Hugo Ekitike gets his second and Liverpool's second of the afternoon. Corner kick to Bristol City, but Coventry 1-0 up.
So this is where Bristol now have to take necessary rest, don't they, to try and get back in the game. They have to then leave little holes. This is where...
Well, Mehmeti with the corner, headed away by Wright. Great defending from the American. Bristol City trying to keep the ball inside the Coventry box. McCrory loses out to De Silva, and he's had a little tug of the shirt. The referee could have allowed a bit of advantage there, but instead he's brought play back for the free kick. 1-0 to Coventry.
Yeah, well, you've got to know your players there. You know, I think, as a free kick, as a little tug, but it's De Silva, he's bombing forward. He's getting marshalled very tightly, but I think that's an advantage that the referee has to play on there.
Portsmouth equalise against Blackburn at Fratton Park. Callum Lang making it Portsmouth 1, Blackburn 1. So finally the deadlock broken here. Coventry City 1, Bristol City 0 on your home of the EFL. Talksport 2. Jack Rodoni steaming down the inside left channel for the host. Finds Torpinfield, but very swiftly dispossessed by Jason Knight, backpedaling towards his own penalty area. Mehmeti, lovely sidestep to get away from one man, but Torp wouldn't let him get away. It's all a bit frantic at the moment. Ball's worked to Sinclair Armstrong, the Bristol City central striker. Pring on the overlap, lovely run from Cameron Pring. Two waiting for a cross. Reese at the far post won't get it. De Silva headed it clear, and then forced into the area by McCrory, but straight to De Silva. Rodoni lets the ball run across his body, draws the foul from Neto Borges, and Coventry get a free kick. 1-0 they lead.
Oh, it's a great take from Jack Rodoni there as well. Just knows Neto Borges is already sold, committed to the challenge, just lets it run past him. Great first touch as well. Takes a bit of a soul in there, but good to see him up on his feet so quickly. But like you say, Bristol City have got themselves into some great areas, great quality coming to Bex. Emil Reese, I don't know why he's waiting on that ball to reach him. Go and attack the ball. Go meet the ball at its highest point there. Fantastic ball in it was.
Stockport 1, Stevenage 3 now in League 1. Lewis Thompson with the third for Stevenage. And it's 1-0 here to Coventry. Mason Clark, who scored the goal, trying to win the ball off McCrory, but Ross McCrory gets there and puts it out of play for a throw to Coventry, but it'll be another Milan van Eyck long throw special coming in from that far side. As soon as I say that, he stays on this near side, and De Silva throws it in short. It goes back to halfway. Van Eyck had the ball taken off his toe by Mehmeti, but he couldn't get onto the loose ball. Thomas was comfortably there first. Rushworth plays the ball along the deck to find Van Eyck just inside his own half for Coventry. Faced up by Jason Knight. Infield it goes to Torp just over the halfway line. Now Grimes into the centre circle, finds the lively Jack Redoni, immediately looks to see where Mason Clark is, steps inside McCrory, finds Redoni, little ball back round the corner looking for Mason Clark. Well, the idea was right, but just overhit by Redoni. Goal kick to Bristol City. Frank Lampard goes back and sits down. Well, he was about to sit down. He was halfway through sitting down and then decided he was going to stand up again.
Yeah, it's just it's so the emotions they must be going through as well. I just think this more it plays into Coventry's hands. They have to kind of manage a game. You just said about the long throw coming in now. It's just about possession based now. It's about setting those little traps, sucking Bristol City out.
Sinclair Armstrong on the burst down the inside right channel for Bristol City. Thomas has gone out with him. Gets to the right-hand corner of the area. Mehmeti's up in support. Now Rees picks it up. Works it back from McCrory at the edge of the D. Hayden Roberts calling for it. Left-hand corner. Gets it now. Slides in Mehmeti. Mehmeti with a shot deflected. Well saved by Rushworth. Wrong-footed. Stuck out a right leg and diverted it away because that was on target from Anis Mehmeti.
Yeah, great save, reaction save from Rushworth there. Mehmeti asking that question in behind. Great way to pass from Hayden Roberts, and it's like a cross, isn't it? Just takes that little nick off the defender to steer it goalwards.
Good reactions from Carl Rushworth. Keeps it Coventry 1, Bristol City 0. Torp is fouled by Hayden Roberts, and the substitute for Bristol City gets a yellow card from Stephen Martin. And Coventry won't mind that, the fact that the play gets broken up a little bit and they can just eat a few seconds away. Just over 20 minutes to go on Talksport 2, your home of the EFL. It is still Coventry City 1, Bristol City 0 as it was on the hour, just past the hour mark when Ephraim Mason-Clark tucked home from close range.
Just look at Jason Knight just edging forward, trying to get them to step up. Can they go and put that pressure on? Look at him, he's going that front four, but look at the space, look at the pocket Victor Torp's in. So that's when that defensive unit's got to be brave as well and step up, close those little gaps.
It's the thoughts of Chris Iwelumo as Ross McCrory pulls on the shoulder of Ephraim Mason-Clark, tight to the dead ball line. No yellow card for Ross McCrory, but it is a free kick right on the byline for Coventry City in that far corner of the field, the southeast corner. I've seen yellow cards given for less.
No, you're spot on. I think Mason Clark again, he's been an excellent outlet. He's chased everything, harried. Every time he's had possession of the ball, he's keeping it. He's allowing Coventry to get up and get in good areas, and then he's got that quality of pass as well. He can execute it, release players and bring other players into play. He's been outstanding.
Liam Kitching just went across to have a word with Matt Grimes, who's about to take this free kick from the left-hand side, about 6 or 7 yards in from the corner flag on the byline. Grimes looks for Hadji Wright, headed away. There were a couple of Bristol City players who went down inside their own penalty area. One of them was Armstrong, but there was no foul. Coventry have worked the ball all the way back to their keeper Rushworth. Diagonal ball left to right looking for Sakamoto. Good header cleared by Randall, putting it out of play for a throw. And Randall, who had his header saved from Carl Rushworth not 2 or 3 minutes before, Ephraim Mason-Clark flicked Coventry in front of the other end.
Yeah, it would have been a smash and grab, but like you said, they had been defending really, really well and just hadn't really posed that threat second half, albeit they got into good areas, good end product. But like I say, this Coventry side, just keep going. You know what you're going to get. Keep doing the right things. Don't really change the way that they play.
Van Eyck's long throw cleared away. Kitching knocks it down for Van Eyck again, inside right channel, looking for Sakamoto, flicks it further down the right hand side for Van Eyck, who's got Roberts at his back, manages to win it back for Bristol City, and then Mehmeti, he just
that's a yellow.
Throws Sakamoto to the ground. That's got to be a yellow card for Mehmeti, and there's a bit of a pushing and shoving match going on away to our right hand side that the referee has got to sort out here. Bit needless, you would say, from Anis Mehmeti there.
That's excellent from Sakamoto, isn't it? Just got himself in between ball and man there, allowed it to go out. Definite Coventry throwing in that right down near the corner flag there. Mehmeti, there's just no need for it. There isn't any need for it whatsoever.
Referee having a chat with Mehmeti, gives him a yellow card for that. And it will be a free kick to Coventry. Birmingham City 1, Charlton 1. Tyrese Campbell equalises for the Latics at St Andrews. Bolton equalise at home to Exeter in League 1. Walsall 1, Shrewsbury 1. The League 2 leaders have been pegged back at the Bescot by Tom Anderson's equaliser. 1-0 here to Coventry. 17 minutes to go of normal time. And it will be a free kick to Coventry. They better get on with it because the referee is noting that they're taking their time deciding who's going to send this ball into the air. It's Victor Torp who's now trotted across to this near side to take the resulting free kick. Let's see where this one ends up. From the Coventry City midfielder. Right-footed delivery. Plenty of Coventry players just beyond the far post. Nobody's really near post at the moment for the hosts. In it comes from Torp at pace and headed over the bar by Liam Kitching, who'd gone in to try and get the first contact. So it ends up being a goal kick to Bristol City, and they're preparing changes. Scott Twine's going to be on in a minute for the Robins. Loves a long-range goal to Scott Twine. He's made a career out of it during his time at clubs like MK Dons and Burnley. And he's coming on for Anis Mehmeti, I think.
Yeah, it's a silly one. You can see frustration there. Mehmeti took a silly yellow card. I think that change had it's so important that you keep all men on the pitch. I think Gerhard Struber's just hoping there's going to be one more big opportunity that they can try and capitalise on there, but fantastic ball in there from Victor Torp that was attacked well from Kitchen.
I was trying to think of the last time I saw a Gerhard Struber side, and it was when he was at Barnsley and they stayed up in Project Restart at Brentford, denying Brentford automatic promotion. Clark Oddawar scored a goal for Barnsley with seconds to go at the old Griffin Park. And Gerhard Struber did a Barry Fry and ran down the touchline to celebrate with his players. Or an Alex Neil as it is now, as it's now known, since Alex did that the other week for Millwall. 15 minutes to go. Coventry City, the leaders of the Championship, who failed to win their last two, are in front here against Bristol City. They're giving the ball away inside the Bristol City half, and McCrory gets clipped by Jack Rodoni. So it's going to be a free kick. Middlesbrough 3, QPR 1. Nicola Madsen gets a goal back for QPR, but Middlesbrough, they're getting the 3 points for certain. Can Coventry get theirs? Now Sinclair Armstrong on a burst. Out comes Rushworth, the Coventry keeper, smartly to the edge of his area and thump it downfield. Pring heads it down for Twine. That's his first involvement. Hayden Roberts has to give the ball back to Cameron Pring under pressure from Hadji Wright. Manages to work the ball back to his keeper. That's well done by Cameron Pring when Hadji Wright was just bearing down on him.
But look at this. Look at the way that Coventry press without the ball. This is where I think VTech has to go a little bit more direct. Give those big men something to go and attack and keep hold of. I tell you, it's not a lot in it. There is not a lot in it.
Well, there was a push on Neto Borges, says the referee from Ephraim Mason-Clark, the goal scorer. So a free kick for Bristol City, taken short. Jason Knight turns. Ellis Sims might be on shortly for Coventry City, the man who's won the Player of the Month in the Championship for November, with the 5 goals that he scored in pretty short order. Here's Adam Randall there for Bristol City, centre of the Coventry half. Everything very narrow. Works it out left to Cameron Pring. Pring with an early cross. Headed out by Liam Kitching. It'll drop for Neto Borges just inside the Coventry half. Nods it, a cushioned header out to Randall. He gives it back to Borges. Infield again to Randall. Good 1 and 2 touch football from Bristol City. Now left hand side, it slid into the path of Sinclair Armstrong down the left hand side of the area, lays it off for Hayden Roberts, digs out across, header from Rees is over the top. So close to getting something on that, Emil Rees, and he got a good contact, but it went about a yard over the bar, and it's a goal kick to Coventry City. 1-0 they lead.
Massive opportunity. Hayden Roberts, excellent ball as well, kept the ball well. Emil Rees does everything right, goes and attacks the ball, but he's got to hit the target. He's got to hit the target. Hits the target there, I think Carl Rushworth is beaten there. But over the net it goes, over the crossbar.
Great game at Cardiff City Stadium. Cardiff 3, Doncaster 3. Harry Clifton equalises for Donny. Luton 2-2 with Port Vale. Here's Hadji Wright for Coventry, dragging another shot wide, this time with his right foot. He's had one of those afternoons, Hadji Wright. Dragged a couple of shots wide with his left peg in the first half. Hit the post early on, in fairness to him, but this right-footed shot was never going to trouble Vitek. Goal kick.
Just the first part was excellent. Now he gets away from his man, uses his strength. He's driving. Centre-backs are split as well, so he sees an open goal. He goes power. I think it's just a bit technique there, connection. Make sure you work the goalkeeper, make sure you hit the target. Just snatched at it.
Now Cameron Pring for Bristol City, just in front of his own 18-yard line. Works in that left for Hayden Roberts. Ball stayed in play. A few Coventry fans on this near side said that had gone out of play for a throw-in. But here come Bristol City with Emil Rees suddenly getting into the area. Good covering from Liam Kitching. Took the ball away from Emil Rees, but he gets it back. McCrory down the right-hand side of the penalty area for the visitors. Works it back for Borges. Now Jason Knight takes over, the Bristol City captain. Slides it into the path of Randall. Randall into the area for McCrory. Just takes a touch, trying to make room for a shot, which is, in the end, very, very weak and comfortably claimed by Rushworth in front of goal. Stays Coventry City 1, Bristol City 0 on Talksport 2 with 12 to play.
Yeah, good quality in the break there as well. Fantastic from Armstrong to find McCrory, wait a pass to Emil Rees in behind. Wasn't bad at all, but Liam Kitchen sees the danger, gets across, makes sure he takes it away from Emil Rees before he can get onto it in the 18-yard box there. Just fantastic defending.
Armstrong again, an ever-willing runner for Bristol City. Gets it left-hand side, takes it over the head of Thomas. Can he get the shot away? He slipped as he was about to pull the trigger, and that made it a very easy save for Carl Rushworth. And Bristol City are starting to ask more and more questions, and Armstrong is a real handful, but Coventry still lead 1-0.
Yeah, he's timing his runs perfectly, and they're picking him out. I've got to say, took it away from Bobby Thomas far too easily there. You had Van Evek putting pressure on. Kitchen had came across, Grimes had got back, lost his foot a little bit, so couldn't really connect with the ball properly, but he has a threat. He has been most of the game.
But it remains Coventry in front by 1-0 on Talksport 2. And we've got just over 10 minutes to play at the Coventry Building Society Arena. Attempted back heel from Pring to find a teammate, got it wrong and then clipped Victor Torp. And that cues the arrival of Ellis Sims for Hadji Wright. Straight swap up front, no great surprise there. Frustrating afternoon for Hadji Wright. But November's Player of the Month in the Championship coming on to replace him. Chris Iwelumo.
Yeah, you can tell a lot from body language. You can see that, the way that he's down. Now he's getting a round of applause here, in fairness. That's all about good fans, making sure the player knows his value. But he'll be disappointed and frustrated that he's not got his goal.
So Sims on, there's a few Coventry players come to this near side to have a bit of a drink. And the referee's taken a dim view of it, I think, wants the players to get on with it. In the Championship, Birmingham 1, Charlton 1. Coventry 1-0 up here. Leicester 3-1 up against Ipswich. Middlesbrough 3-1 up against QPR. Hull 2-0 up at 10-man Millwall. Portsmouth and Blackburn are 1 apiece. Watford still 2-1 up at Wrexham. And in the Premier League, 2-0 to Chelsea against Everton and to Liverpool against Brighton in the 2-3 o'clock kickoffs. Burnley Fulham at 5:30. Regular updates on that game in the Game Day phone-in with Jamie O'Hara and Jason Cundy. And Arsenal Wolves live at 8 tonight on Talksport, whilst the darts continues on Talksport 2 from 7 o'clock on Talksport 2 here, and the Talksport Darts YouTube page and the Talksport app. Every dart from Ali Pally this year can be heard across the Talksport network. Carl Rushworth for Coventry, who lead by 1-0. Tries to seek out Mason Clark with a diagonal ball. It was well dealt with by Ross McCrory at the back. Flicked downfield by Adam Randall. Barnsley 2, Leyton Orient 2. John Russell gets an equaliser for the Tykes at home. And here is Bobby Thomas for Coventry City. Gets his head up and drives the ball, looking to get Ellis Sims away down the right-hand side. Cameron Pring defending the ball well. Gets a touch, prevents the corner kick, and then fires it down the left-hand side, but straight onto the chest of Van Avijk. Overcooks the pass intended for Torp. And now, with a double change pending for Bristol City, Sinclair Armstrong again with a willing run. This time he's won a throw off Bobby Thomas. Ball's thrown in, and a Coventry fan threw the ball back onto the pitch as Sinclair Armstrong was trying to take a quick throw.
Right in front of us as well.
Yeah.
We would do the same if it was our team, though. We'd do
Exactly the same. It was fun. It's what it's all about. Fantastic challenge there from Bobby Thomas. Sinclair again.
Scott Twine finds Armstrong, works it back to the edge of the area, almost broke for Emil Rees. But Coventry a bit slow for the second ball. And the ball's out to the right-hand corner of the area. Ross McCrory steps away from Mason Clark, finds Adam Randall towards the edge of the penalty area, trying to get the ball on his left. It goes down, free kick at the edge of the D for Bristol City. Adam Randall taken down. They're about to make a double change, Bristol City, but they've got a free kick, and Scott Twine, no surprise, has already grabbed the ball.
Already got the ball, and this is a good distance for him as well. So this is where you're looking at Carl Rushworth. I think the wall's got to do its job here, of course, but the distance to get it up and down over the wall, the accuracy that he gets on this, you know that you, as a goalkeeper, you have to be ready for this. So positioning in the goal itself.
6 goals already this season for Scott Twine for Bristol City, and there's a 5-man, maybe even 6-man. No, it's a 5-man wall, isn't it, for Coventry City? But there's a 2-man Bristol City wall standing in front. Carl Rushworth has got very little sight, I would say, of this impending strike. It's right at the edge of the D in the centre. Scott Twine takes 3 or 4 paces back from the ball. Big moment in the game here. Just over 6 minutes to go on Talksport 2. The leaders keeping this 1-goal advantage, but now a free kick for Bristol City. Twine, right-footed, saved by Rushworth. Didn't have to move too far to his right to make the catch.
Well, it's great goalkeeping. He struck it well. There's movement on the ball. A little bit of whippage as well. Carl Rushworth kept hold of it well. Good hands.
Now Waco's Jack Radoni as Coventry burst down the other end. Quick ball into the area, looking to get Sims away. But it was well dealt with at the back. Portsmouth 2 up against Blackburn Rovers. With all that good away from Blackburn trailing at Fratton Park. Ibane Boat for Pompey. Blackpool have levelled it against Lincoln in League 2. They were 2-0 down. It's now 2-2. Ashley Fletcher. And here comes the double change. Not only for Bristol City, who are bringing off Rees to allow Fali Mayula to come on. So Mayulu on, and Yu Hirakawa on as well for Cameron Pring. So those are the changes that Gerhard Struber has decided to make. Rees has put in a shift this afternoon for sure.
Yeah, he's just thrown everything at it now, create a little bit of chaos, just trying to kind of get that opportunity. Couple of changes here as well.
Yeah, Jamie Allen and Josh Eccles are going to come on for Coventry City for these last few minutes. What we've got 5 minutes of normal time remaining, and Jack Radoni, who's not long back, let's not forget, from a hip injury that kept him out for several weeks. I'm not sure that he's completed the 90 here since he's come back, but he's put in another really strong performance this afternoon in central midfield. I think he's one of those Coventry players that looks like he would very nicely slip into a Premier League midfield.
Yes,
Chris Iwelumo.
yes, 100%. Just has everything about him, that quality. You know, he's got the energy. You know, the athleticism as well, but fantastic technical ability.
You're listening to Talksport 2, your home of the EFL closing stages here at the Coventry Building Society Arena. Coventry City desperate to hang on to this 1-0 scoreline they have, courtesy of Ephraim Mason-Clark's close-range effort just past the hour. Bristol City have rung the changes, but they've given the ball away to Josh Eccles, who's just on for the hosts, works it back for Mason Clark, drags his foot on the ball really expertly to keep it away from Hirakawa. The ball's gone back to halfway. Bobby Thomas has it now for Coventry, midway point of his own half. Hits a straight ball onto the chest of Neto Borges. That's a poor ball from Borges, intercepted on halfway by Matt Grimes. Now Eccles spins away from Twine, who had that free kick. Well dealt with by Carl Rushworth a couple of minutes ago. And Coventry just trying to calm the game down now. Thomas, ball down the middle of the pitch for Ellis Sims, who drives it wide of the goal. Thomas found the run of Ellis Sims expertly with a fully fit. That wasn't a long ball, that was a long pass. Found Ellis Sims, right hand corner of the area, but he dragged his shot well wide. Goal kick, 1-0 Cov.
Yeah, big opportunity. Great ball from Bobby Thomas. Excellent run as well. Like you say, they're picking up those little kind of pockets, those little holes, because Bristol City are bombing everyone on to try and kind of capitalise, try and create those overloads in the right area. He'll be disappointed. He struck it well, but he's got to hit the target there. Big opportunity.
87.5 gone. Coventry leading by a goal to 0. Here's Jason Knight for Bristol City, slides it in field, and Mayulu just can't control the ball, just on as a substitute. Jamie Allen works it back to his keeper Rushworth, left-footed booming clearance downfield, straight onto the head of Rob Dickey though, nods it down to the centre circle. Randall does well to keep it away from Jamie Allen, and Bristol City trying to attack again. Yu Hirakawa, space down the right hand side, 2 waiting for a cross now. Armstrong and Mayulu, still Yu Hirakawa has it, plays it along the deck into the near post, and it's cleared. Only back to the edge of the area, drops left hand side for Hayden Roberts, and he snatches at a left footed shot horribly, and it goes wide for a goal kick to Coventry City away to our left. 1-0 to the Sky Blues.
Yeah, still definitely posing a threat. Hirakawa does everything right, gets that little ball across, defended well, but say McCrory picking up second balls, driving forward. It's a great ball to the back post area. Hayden Roberts has to go across goal. He's tried to put a little bit of spin on the ball as well there, outside of the left boot, go across, put the laces through it, give Rushworth a question to answer there.
Don't forget Talksport Breakfast back Monday morning from 6, recapping all the weekend's action with Jeff Stelling and Ali McCoist. And then White and Jordan will have Martin O'Neill back in the chair after his spell as Celtic manager came to an end, so he will rejoin Jim and Simon as he used to do regularly on a Monday morning. And Gary Anderson has won the final match of the afternoon in the afternoon session at the PDC World Darts, beating Adam Hunt by 3-2. So by no means a pushover for the Flying Scotsman and 2-time world champion. The evening session at Ali Pali gets underway at 7 o'clock tonight. I think Luke Humphreys is one of those in action tonight. Join Chris Murphy, Mark Wilson, Paul Nicholson, Chris Mason for our coverage on Talksport 2 from 7. And a change for Coventry City toward the end of the game, and Luke Wolfenden, who played from the start at Preston in midweek, comes on for Efren Mason-Clark, who's made the wise decision to do a lap of the pitch and take the applause of all the Coventry fans, because it's his goal, as things stand, that means it's 3 points for Coventry City.
Yeah, he's been excellent though, hasn't he? I think right from the get-go, making things happen, deliveries into the box, attacking his player, driving at him.
5 minutes of minimum added time have been indicated by the board to our right-hand side, but here come Bristol City. Sinclair Armstrong bursting into the area, right-hand side. Hirakawa's there in support, and it came off Jada Silva, and it's a corner kick to Bristol City. And the keeper's Vitek is saying to Gerhard Struber, can I go up for this? And Struber's saying, no, stay put. It's like an FA Cup tie.
I've got to say, Hirakawa took the ball off the foot of Armstrong there. Strong running into the 18-yard box as well.
Corner kick from Twine for Bristol City, deep to the far post. Mayulu heads it back across the face of goal, headed out to the edge of the box. Knight brings it down, drifts away from Jamie Allen, works it out to the left wing, and Hayden Roberts. It's given back to the captain, Knight. Now Jamie Allen's closer to him. Knight spins away, fires it into the middle of the field for Adam Randall. Randall driving into the area, left-hand side. Still Adam Randall. There was a challenge that went in and he stayed on his feet. Drives it across. Mayulu! Oh. What a save! What a save, Carl Rushworth! Amazing one-handed stop to deny Mayulu an equaliser. Incredible save!
It's a wonderful save. The strike, the movement, Adam Randall done ever so well. Picks out Mayulu, and he's only 8 yards from goal, and he puts the power into that bottom right hand corner. Rushworth should not get there, gets a strong hand,
but it is a corner. Twine to take it right under the crossbar, claimed by Rushworth. We played a minute and a half of the 5 that have been added on. Oh, poor throw out from Rushworth, straight to Hirakawa. Now Jason Knight will slide in. Scott Twine, left-hand corner of the penalty area, gets the ball on his right, feints to shoot, lofts it to the far post. McCrory nods it down, and it's half-volley clear by Kitching. Desperate stuff at the end for Coventry, trying to hold on to this 1-0 win. Hirakawa works it back for Vitek, the keeper. Coventry fans in front of us imploring their team to get out and get away from their 18-yard line. Knight The Bristol City captain plays a diagonal ball, looking for McCrory, gets his head to it, drops for Twine, brings it down with his hand, free kick.
There's no reason for him to do that there. Just keep the ball alive. Why put your hand? I've got to say, Steve Martin is the referee. Fantastic position again, sees that. But like you say, keep the pressure on. Coventry, you're spot on. They need to be braver, they need to step up, got quicker. Ellis Sims chasing his own flick on as well. So that gives them a little bit of respite. It's going back to VTech. That defensive line needs to step up, make it difficult for Bristol City.
Well, Fally Mayulu must have thought he'd got an equaliser there with that turn and shot. But incredible goalkeeping from Carl Rushworth keeps it 1-0 to Coventry. Nearly 3 minutes of the minimum 5 have gone here at the CBS Arena on Talksport 2. Bristol City haven't given up yet. They're trying to win the ball on halfway, but Sakamoto gets the better of Roberts, who's lost a boot in taking on the Japanese winger, who's now skated inside 2 players. Great run, Sakamoto pulls it back to the edge of the area, and it's Eccles who fires wastefully over from the edge of the box. But the run from Tatsuhiro Sakamoto was a delight, but it didn't provide a finish from Josh Eccles. And it's a goal kick to Bristol City, 1-0 Cov.
Well, Sakamoto definitely done his part there, great bit of quality, marshalled by 2, takes them out the game, and then gets his head up, has that composure to pick Eccles out. Way to pass was spot on. Eccles has to do better, has to hit the target at least.
Anywhere will do. That was a proper Avit from Milan Van Ewijk, yeah. Getting the ball downfield. And Borges gets the ball ahead of Ellis Sims, kept in play brilliantly on this near side by Jason Knight. But they've got just over a minute of Bristol City to try and find something. Otherwise, Coventry will get back to winning ways. Given away by Rob Dickey. Eccles will pick it up left-hand side, but he slows the game down. He's not going to go for goal. He's going to work it back instead to his captain, Matt Grimes. Grimes down the left-hand side, runs out of room, and it'll be a Bristol City throw. Coventry winning, Middlesbrough winning, Millwall and Ipswich losing towards the top of the Championship. It'll be a 5-point gap for Coventry if things stay like this. Headed away by Kitching, but Bristol City bring it up to halfway. Flick through for Scott Twine, but he ran into Kitching, who just, again, anywhere will do, just toe-poked it into the Bristol City half. Seconds remaining on Talksport 2. Long ball forward for Bristol City, looking for Mayulu. Again, just a sky clearance from Milan Van Ewijk. Good control from Jason Knight. And Bristol City got enough time to create one more chance. The 5 minutes are nearly up. Long ball downfield from Jason Knight, looking for McCrory to try and win the header. Headed clear, drops at the edge of the area. There goes the full-time whistle. Coventry are back to winning ways. It's a 5-point gap now at the top of the Championship, where for so long it looked like that 5-point gap they had at the start of the day might get reduced still further. But Efren Mason-Clark, just past the hour, flicked the ball in from close range after Bobby Thomas had just hit the post seconds before from a set-piece routine. And they clung on, Coventry, and they were indebted to their goalkeeper, Carl Rushworth, for a quite brilliant piece of goalkeeping to deny Bristol City substitute Fally Mayulu late on a turn and shot from no more than 8 or 9 yards out. An instinctive one-handed save from Rushworth preserves the points for Frank Lampard and Coventry City. Just shy of 30,000 people here this afternoon, and they're all going home. The majority of them are going home very happy indeed, because that 5-point gap has been maintained at the top of the Championship. Bristol City fought hard, couldn't find their way through, and at full time it's Coventry City 1, Bristol City 0.
It is a huge win then to get Coventry back on the winning run once more. And as Downs was saying, they're 5 points clear now of second place Middlesbrough. But crucially, they're now 12 points clear of both Preston and Millwall, who are on 35 points. Let's look back on that game as a whole then. And just the one goal in it, but it was a terrific piece of play by Coventry that led to that goal for Ephron Mason-Clark. But they will have a lot of thanks to Carl Rushworth, won't they, Chris Highwellamo?
Yeah, he was excellent. I think got asked a few questions, especially that second half, some outstanding saves, and I mean real quality. Natalie, I think the one from the Randall header, just reactive, makes sure strong hand. Mayulu again, 8 yards from goal, strikes it well right into the corner. He gets himself there. I think decision making as well. That defensive line stepped up, and he's like a sweeper, isn't he? He's coming out, and I think Sinclair was asking questions in behind with the quality towards probably the latter period of that second half there. And Rushworth for me had a perfect game. But Coventry, we spoke before the game about conceding goals. That's a clean sheet, 1-0. That'll do everyone just a world of good. Obviously getting the 3 points, clean sheet, near perfect performance, and they had to defend towards the latter. They had to, Bristol City are throwing everything at it. Great quality coming into the box, and you've got bodies making the blocks. You've got goalkeepers making fantastic saves, but defended very, very well, and they're going to need that in the next game. Southampton away at St Mary's, so that's going to be very interesting encounter.
Yeah, absolutely. The clean sheet will be massively important for confidence for a Coventry team that, as we had mentioned, hadn't won in their last 2 previous games. But also, it means it sets it up nicely for this Southampton game that you've mentioned next week, because Southampton, as we know, lost at Norwich. They were the form team coming into this round of weekend fixtures. And it does, as I say, tee that one up very nicely. Yeah,
it does. I think I was covering that game midweek. Southampton, West Brom, they were unbelievable in the first half at home in front of their own crowd. They've got a very hostile environment, very, very similar. They play up to their fans as well under Eckhart. So it's going to be a hard challenge. But this Coventry side, they've shown me that they can manage games. They can control it with the ball. They can do the hard yards. They work very hard for each other. But then they've got quality throughout. Ellis Sims just gives a different dynamic for me. Had you right, first half. I've never really seen him second half, albeit he got the assist for the Mason Clark goal. But he needs that goal. You can see it, his body language, the confidence isn't there. But Frank Lampard, as a manager, has to, and good man management will persist, because he's ever present. He was the leading goal scorer. The quality's there, and he's just going through that little bit of a dry spell at the minute. But as he's saying, it's a team game. Everyone's doing a little bit, but they were definitely deserved the all 3 points today.
A word on Bristol City then. They've dropped down to 12th as a result of this defeat. They were in the playoff semi-finals last season. From what you've seen of the Gerhard Struber Bristol City, do you think they've got enough to make it into the top 6?
Well, they have enough, but they need everyone fit and firing. Natalie, I think they are very, very stretched with the injuries. Jason Knight's just come back. Max Bird's still injured. Their Viner is out with an injury now. It's Tanner as well. So there is so many things that he's had to deal with, but he's still getting a performance. They were a threat today. They could have definitely very easily taken something from this game. So I think they've got to build on that. They've got to use that and try and keep it all positive. And then obviously through this festive period, the games come thick and fast. It's just about recovery, get themselves ready for the games, and hopefully those big players can come back and give this squad quality and depth.